everyone, and welcome to the show where after the collision, we sift through
the wreckage.
The Wreckage. I am your host, Jimmy T. He is my co-host, the best in the world, Jamie the Vet Williams, and our special guest, he's my other co-host of the Smack Attack. It is R to the B to the V. Rick, welcome back to The Wreckage. And what's cracking, man? Thank you.
Gentlemen, as always, an absolute honor. Despite all the WWE coverage, I had to get up bright and early to get here, baby, to jump on board. The Wreckage.
The Wreckage. Vet, what's going on with you, man? Welcome back to your show.
Oh, yes, thank you. Happy to be here. Yeah, just chilling, you know, enjoying another one of these wrestling-based weekends.
Oh,
At least
man.
it's not 34 hours this week, but
Don't even
it's
get
not
me
like they didn't
started.
try.
Yeah,
Well,
get
it's
Tony
funny.
on the phone. We need 9 hours. 9 more hours.
I want to say something right off the top.
Go for it.
I know a lot of people have their opinions on, you know, the WWE now, this regime, this current regime, as opposed to the other regime. But I would like to say, at least, maybe we don't need a 2-night SummerSlam, but since they're doing it, isn't it so nice to have 6 hours over 2 days instead of 1 day? Like, can we agree that that is a little bit easier to stomach? Wouldn't it be nice to just have 3 hours twice rather than one long, boring pound you in the back? You guys remember WrestleMania Dallas? Holy fucking shit, was
10
that
hours,
long,
bro?
I felt like I grew a full beard by the end of that, when you know, and that was back when Triple H was wrestling. Wasn't that when like Roman beat him for the title or something? But it was at the end of a phenomenally long show.
Dude,
The,
that was at 6
the
p.m. my
bars
time.
had closed and reopened. That's how
Yeah.
long that show was. I mean, it was
Yeah.
absolutely brutal. And to kind of piggyback on what you're saying there, Bet, absolutely love the breakup with the 2 days. We can go into the figures, what it means for those metro areas, all that money-wise. That's another conversation. But I even want to go a little further on that. I like this new setup with TKO trying to get out before their UFC shows. Absolutely love that was over by 9:30 last night, Eastern time.
Yes.
Yeah,
There's so many
surprisingly.
benefits of the people. So everybody that's like, the Vince McMahon, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Every one of you. Unless you're here
Oh.
today with us, in which case, please tell us what you think in the chat. And you're welcome to. We're so happy you're here. Anybody that you might be telling about this show later, we're not including them either. But anybody that's never going to hear this, fuck you.
Obviously, anyone listening to The Wreckage is of a higher morality
Oh, yes.
base, of an intellect when it comes to professional wrestling and all things that are worldly out there. Even if they're thinking about listening, they're on that level. But everybody else, as the vet said, can just go suck a big one. A big old slice of watermelon here on National Watermelon Day.
Not any
Yeah,
eggplants or
eat the
zucchinis?
watermelon sideways.
Yes. Spit them seeds.
That's
Don't
pretty
swallow
fat,
them.
actually, man. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
So what else is so what's been up in the world, Jimmy? What do we got to
I
talk
don't know
about
if-
this morning?
Well, I'm
SummerSlam?
talking about shut up. I just want to say, hey, Daxon, the Dax of Daxons, shut the fuck up, all right? That's what I want to say. If he ever hears this, shut up, because he's the biggest hypocrite. When I went to send you the link for the show on Twitter, Vet, bang, right there, right in front of me in my on the home screen, I had to see what he said to Jimmy Corderas. And
Well,
I didn't like
tell
what-
the people the whole story.
Well,
It's like, I don't know what Jimmy said because he deleted it, apparently.
FTR
Yeah,
has
he
got
did.
our
You're right.
Jimmy Salami absolutely baking over here. But yeah, I'm kind of curious as well. You've been hot on this since we were in the studio. Jimmy, lay it out here.
I will
What is
right
the
now.
heat
Now-
with FTR?
Now, I'm not sure what he said about Dax, because he did delete it. I just saw it like just moments ago. I just didn't like what he said, but what he did say, and this is how when I responded, he goes, and he's talking about Jimmy Corderas, the former WWE referee. He says, "Hey Jimmy, I unblocked you just to let you know I have zero respect for you. Imagine being as old as you are, and your whole day revolves around getting on Twitter to throw tantrums about a wrestling company you know nothing about. He goes on to say, my father-in-law is your age, know what he likes to do, hang out with his granddaughter, work around his house, visit us when he gets bored. He doesn't spend countless hours on Twitter begging for someone to interact with him because he has no friends or family in real life. He goes on to say, I can understand why you dislike Tony. You worked for a man who embarrassed you on a weekly basis while you tried to hide in the back hoping he didn't even notice you were there, or as so you could keep collecting a paycheck. I work for a man who cares about his talent, hardcore bullshit, who cares about their health and their families. I'd rather work for a man like that than what you consider success. But hey, I'm sure our priorities are way different. Now, that didn't sit well with me, guys, so I just jumped in. Oh, it's been deleted now. It just came up as that it's been deleted. That is awesome. But anyway, I replied to that, and I said, wow, does this smell of hypocrisy? Or am I just tripping? Okay, Dax, all you do is bitch and moan about anyone and everyone that goes against your narratives and then becomes all righteous like people owe you something. Okay, how about you look in the mirror before you open your mouth? And that was it. And people started retweeting that. I would have said more if I had the blue tick. Unfortunately, I don't have the blue tick. I couldn't say more. But it's funny that he deleted that post now suddenly. Lucky I caught it in time because he needs to shut the fuck up. I mean, how many times does he bitch about everything online, dude?
Well, I don't know because I don't have anything to do with this guy. So that's number one. But here's what I do want to say though. Sometimes people would ask me like, hey Ved, do you ever think about, doing something else? Would you ever have considered being a referee, like as a career, right? And I'd be like, well, no. And the reason that my answer is no is on display here in this interaction in both parties. Because Dax is saying like what he said about you work for a man that doesn't care about you and you just try to stay out of the way to collect a paycheck, right?
Right.
Well, that is true. That is absolutely true that Vince McMahon did not care about any of those people there. The referees are second-class citizens. They're all treated like garbage, and if you doubt that that's the way people look at referees in this business, which Jimmy Corderas does deserve respect because he was a big part of a lot of things that went on there, but Absolutely. They don't get the credit because they're just a ref, right? And then if you need any further proof of what I'm saying, will you look at the first sentence that Axe the Axe Axon wrote in his tweet right there? He said, I have zero respect for you. So for me to be on the road all those years, traveling with the boys, helping set up the ring, doing all the stuff behind the scenes and getting no thank you for it, in addition to being the referee, the regular job or whatever, but all the other things that come along with that, just for all that to have somebody else in the business, which this wouldn't be the only person that would say, I have zero respect for you. So that's why I'm not going to be a referee. No one's going to treat me like that. I couldn't stand to be treated like that, and I wouldn't be, so I wouldn't fit in and I wouldn't last long, right? And so that's like a perfect encapsulation of like how just because you're not a star or you're over, doesn't mean that you can't contribute to something. I don't look down on the refs, but I'm not going to be looked down on, and I'm not going to be one of them. You know what I mean? That's just a personal choice that I made, and this is exactly why.
It just shows what type of piece of shit the guy is, straight up. I'm sorry,
and he's not the only one. He's just the one today.
No, you're right. It's true. But he's just don't even get me. Anyway, Jimmy ends up apologizing. I even said to him, why the hell are you apologizing to him for, man? Stick by what you said. And I don't even know what it was that he said. I just didn't like that first sentence particularly with what he said, which
I have zero respect for you.
Right. And it just didn't sit well with me. But anyway, Rick, anything to say about Dax, the Daxon?
Well, I think it was some tremendous insight there from the vet on his personal decision, why not to maybe make that jump. And, that could have had a prolonged, a long career collecting one of those checks and laying low.
Absolutely.
And I've also, I've often wondered that, and you get different answers from different people, because I've asked Beast that same question with that great mind and knowing how he's helped referee some matches to coach some of the guys that have made it to that biggest stage. Why wasn't that an option, and he's got his personal reasons. But to speak to Dax here and FDR, I think the bigger issue here is why are we in a society that you feel that you constantly need to go on the attack when you're trying to put out a counterpoint? Again, collecting more flies with honey here is more of the stance I would take, instead of making yourself look less educated, making yourself look like an asshole and angry at the world. Maybe approach it a little differently. Like, hey, man, I know you've seen a lot of things, but you got the wrong impression about what we're doing here at AEW. Invite Corderis over to one of the shows to check it out. Maybe change his opinion where he becomes pro and uses his platform to start recruiting in that grassroots campaign for All Elite Wrestling. But to me, he just comes off as a pretentious dickhead here. If you're going to take the time to pen it, then be a little more educated and articulate in your approach.
He's a straight up dickhead. And that's why I just had to open my mouth.
But it goes back to a lot of things with them. They're always, we respect the history of the business, those that came before us. They go out there and cosplay, brain buster stuff. And they don't even put it, when he's out there doing his singles, he doesn't even put together an original match. It's move by move of something he watched 20 years ago. No, dude, get over yourself. You're a mark on television. You're a mark in tights.
Straight up. And it has nothing even to do with his ability. I just don't like, it's just him. Like, I've got all the AEW drones now attacking me, right? Calling me a WB, but I didn't even mention AEW or WB. Has nothing to do with that. Has to do about two men talking fucking whatever, they're talking shit to each other. That really should be a lot bigger than that and talk like normal people, not like freaking children about it. And like I said, I don't know what Jimmy said, but he shouldn't have said what he said, though. Even Dax. Dax is just as immature for whatever that Jimmy said, you know what I mean? But whatever the case, just shut the fuck up, Dax. Concentrate on your wrestling. Yeah.
And the lesson here is also, you shut the fuck up too, Jimmy. It's none of your business. Stay out of it. Quit acting like a mark.
I like Jimmy. Me and Jimmy have, we've
I know you guys are best friends now, but he doesn't need a guard dog. He's a grown man, and he deserves respect in this business, right? And he can handle himself. He can delete his own tweets, right? It's fine. And Axe deleted it back, so now we're gentlemanly deleting. Okay, it's very nice.
That's the other issue here. We've got these grown men in Twitter beefs, and they all delete everything. If you're going to have the balls, you're going to take the half hour it's looking to type out that long ass winded reply, and then within seconds just erase it, man. Just come on. If you're gonna talk the shit, then sit in the pile of it that you laid.
Absolutely. So we got Professor in the chat saying it's all a work. It's like, because they're DMing each other right now. We got him, brother. That big money angle when Jimmy comes in, and all of a sudden in the finals of this tag team tournament, who's the referee? It's Jimmy Corderis.
Imagine that. Wow.
And it all comes full circle.
1, 2. Oh, yeah.
Sips his coffee, then the middle fingers.
All right, let's get off of this.
Brett. I do love other Jimmys. Name Jimmys. But anyway, but let's get into some news. That was just, Twitter wall news, shall I say. But it seems, and now I kind of touched on this with you, Rick, yesterday on the SummerSlam review show. We can check out right here on Happy Media Group's YouTube channel. That it's funny enough, we all knew, and Vet, I'm sure you even know this. Michael Cole has come out and said that Pat McAfee is his favorite, color guy of all time to work with. Okay. Have you ever heard him say that? I know I have.
I don't know. I don't know if I've heard it or not.
It's changed now because he's come out and said that Taz is his favorite color guy that he's ever worked with, which confirms, in my opinion, what me and Rick was saying a couple of weeks back, that the heat on McAfee is 100% real, and what Cena said was exactly the parody of what they feel about Pat McAfee.
Well, either that or as soon as he said Pat McAfee was his favorite, Taz called him and guilt tripped him for like 90 minutes or whatever. Hey, how could you say that after all these years working with me, brother? You know, like that's probably what really happened. And so he had to change his tune, but
Yeah, but I find that interesting, man. I mean, Rick, come on. I mean,
I would want to hear maybe the context in which the way the question was framed, because I believe when Cole was talking about Pat, he was talking about how he's re-energized them. It's the most fun he's having, but he might have been asked like in a technical sense of someone that provides like a wrestling knowledge or something like that, and maybe he went to Taz. I do believe there is some kind, where there is smoke, there is heat. I still believe, that Cena promo was a direct shot. I don't know how deep that runs, but again, I don't think Pat McAfee, that's what I think. I'm pretty damn sure he's not losing any sleep. He is the face of the biggest acronym in sports and entertainment, ESPN, which is way up here, and that WWE acronym still way down here in comparison. So I think Pat Mac's doing all right, no matter who Michael Cole's BFF is this week.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah, and I've also spent over a quarter of a century trying not to listen to what Michael Cole says. So I assume everybody else should at least has at least attempted that, and I encourage continuing that pattern of behavior.
I will say, I know you didn't get to catch the entire show last night, but probably the pop of the night, though, is Wade Barrett after a Slim Jim commercial. He looks over to Michael Cole. He's like, yeah, Michael Cole, he could suck down some spicy beef sticks right now. And they both lost it. Like Cole had to lay out. He was laughing so damn hard. Even Barrett was struggling to get through the rest of the promo spot.
Oh, man. Barrett's a character, actually. This year, he's been kind of the unsung hero on the commentator's table in some ways, man. But no, he's entertaining as hell for sure, man. But in other news, apparently, we got half the roster wanting Alberto El Patron, formerly known as Alberto Del Rio, back in WWE. Apparently, guys like Phoenix, guys like what's his name, El Idolo, also want him in WWE, and a few other wrestlers apparently. Possibly. No? I'm not sure, but apparently a lot of wrestlers do want him, but then there's a lot of people that don't. I don't know what's going on with him.
Which half of the roster, the top or the bottom?
More the Mexicans, more the bottom end, shall I say. But I don't really buy that. No, hold on a minute. But I don't really buy that, because why would you put yourself on the line, especially if you're on the lower end, to try to bring in El Patron or El Del Rio, whatever you want to call him, back into WWE? I think there is value in him. WWE do give second and third chances. Vet, and I'll go to you first. I'm actually down with it, man. I think he's been on a bit of a hot streak in Mexico lately, and I wouldn't be mad to see this version of Alberto Del Rio back in WWE, as long as he doesn't F up again.
Well, I don't really follow what he's been doing, so I can't speak to that. As far as in this current landscape, I don't think they have the quite frankly, as far as creative goes, I don't think anybody has a clue what they're doing. So he's just going to be another guy. He's just going to get lumped in with other Mexican wrestlers. They're not going to have anything good for him. Potentially there could be something there, but they have so much on their plate and they're cutting shows down. Like SmackDown just lost an hour, and Raw can go as short as they want. So like we're losing time and adding people. I just don't see where Del Rio would fit in at this point. At least, I mean, you could fit him in anywhere. I'm saying, do they want to, or can they do it in a satisfying way? People are bitching about things no matter what they do. So he would just get shoehorned in some way, and I don't think it would be very satisfying for us. That's before you even get to his outside of the ring stuff, which I guess he's been cool for a few years now, but sort of. Even if you're not talking about the baggage, just another guy. You could put that, you could switch his name out with any number of guys that they could bring in to do something, and you would just say, where are you going to put them? What are you going to do with them? Whether that's young guys getting called up from NXT, whether that's old free agents coming on the market, whether it's people from other promotions, whatever it is, it's like you don't have room for the people that you have. So
yes, that's a good point. I mean, Rick, is Vet on the ball with this one, or do you think there's room for him to fit into WWE once again?
I agree wholeheartedly with the vet said there, and more so, you really got to look at this from take everything aside, his talent, what he can bring as a character in storytelling, all that baggage outside of that. Because, and incidentally, that baggage down south of the border, that culture, that fan base doesn't care about all that. They just want that entertainment there. But take all that aside, what is your return on investment with him? Where does he propel your properties, your projects forward here? There is nothing. There really isn't an upside outside of the initial shock from a portion of the fan base that's going to take to the internet in outrage that they would hire somebody like this. And it's going to, and it would fade away immediately. And then he's working, similar programs to Rusev and Sheamus, having banger after banger on the throwaway segment on Netflix.
I've got an idea. You can put them
Where
together.
is the long-term return on investment with it?
Yeah, you could create some sort of a league of something, maybe nations, perhaps. Who knows?
Right, yeah,
like a cult of countries or a league or something.
Yeah, something. I don't know. Probably never been done before. Probably a bad idea. Let's not do it.
That was a bad idea, actually. That was bad. I hated that time. But anyway,
I wouldn't be surprised long term. I mean, why do we need him in the properties in the United States? But I'm not going to be shocked within a year if he does resurface in.
Yeah,
AAA.
neither would I. I agree with that. I wouldn't be shocked if he's back, but we'll see what happens with that. But in AEW news, apparently, well, it's not apparently. Apparently, according to Dustin himself, he needs very invasive major surgery. He's not alluding to what that is, but given what happened on Collision, apparently this is why he lost. He needs to go away and have some sort of surgery. I'm not expecting you guys to really say anything about that. I'm just putting it out there. There's really nothing to say other than, well, I wonder why.
Whatever it is, best of wishes, best of luck in recovery.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, you got nothing to say about that, right?
Just that I didn't know that he had anything going on, which apparently nobody did. That wasn't like a public thing, but maybe he's making it public now. But I had noticed in the last few times I've seen him, his arms have like shriveled up. Like they used to have a little bit more meat on them than they had. So I wonder if like whatever he's had has affected his ability to train or anything else,
Maybe he's finally getting those breast implants.
Oh, that's what Frank thinks.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, didn't they want him to do that? If you remember years ago, Rick, that's why you probably brought it up. I'm pretty sure Vince did want him to get breast implants.
No, I actually think he pitched it at one point for the Gold Dust character.
I think you're right. I think it was him. I think you're right, actually. I think he wrote that in his book too. But anyway, that's pretty wild if that's the case. But back to WWE news, there's you and I touched on this, actually, Rick. And it's funny because if I notice Ray's
I like to touch on big titties.
Wow. Yeah.
Just even if it's Dustin Rhodes.
Yes.
I've got a sort of story about something similar, but I won't go there yet. This was back years ago where I thought it was a woman, but actually I thought it was a man and it was a woman. But that's another question and another story from for next time. But anyway.
But it was just Tiffany Stratton.
No, I wish. But no, this is back when I was in my 20s going to nightclubs and shit like that. But anyway, like I said, that's for another day, another time with growing up Jimmy T. But what I wanted to say about this situation is Karrion Kross, Rick. Because apparently Big Ray spoke to him or something like that. And, this could be his last... He could be done with WWE, it seems. Now, I don't know if he's working it or whatnot. I actually even messaged him myself. I wanted to go to the horse's mouth and find out if it's true or not. He hasn't responded to me yet. If he does and he doesn't, I don't know. But I wanted to go straight to the source. Rick, do you think he's done at this point? Or they're just working us? Because everyone's up in absolute, arms about him getting the loss to Sami Zayn yesterday at SummerSlam Night 1.
I was shocked by the outcome there. I thought, if going forward here again, I thought that maybe Kross needed a win on a stage like that, but it wasn't going to be absolutely detrimental end of the road for him. As we talked about, I thought there was much more a compelling story and a direction for Sami in taking the loss and having to say out loud, you were right. And it's one of those things where you start saying things out loud and they start making sense to you. And maybe we get a lot more aggressive Sami. We get a new direction for him, but I did happen to see. I got up early this morning trying to get the buzz of what people were talking about in a handful of different groups. So across the IWC, a lot of people upset about this loss here. I know there's been talk about, is the contract signed? Has it even been offered? These are the types of things that I'm starting to stay away from in my professional wrestling. The speculation about these sheets and these contracts. I know there's a lot of fun with them, but again, then you run into that, those Nostradamus fans. Oh, I knew Seth wasn't injured, but great. So you talked yourself out of enjoyment of something, a big surprise and a pop moment in the story because you're a know-it-all asshole. And then you got those others that were like, I can't believe that they would lie about an injury like that. Really, a whole genre that's based around things being a work and telling stories. You're surprised by that. Hell, hey, I wish the best for him. He's an incredible talent. He's going to land somewhere. He's got a great gift, a great skill set, destined for Hollywood there. But I hope that it's not near the end of his WWE run.
Vet, what do you think, man?
I have already talked about this, but I just think that if they make him an offer, he's taking it.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. 100%.
And I don't think it has anything to do with anything that's been going on creatively. I don't think he cares about losing to Sami Zayn or any of the other bullshit. That's just Mark fan shit.
Yeah, I don't think the talent, they're going out there doing their job, doing the best. I thought they only went like 8 minutes. I would have loved to see them get a little more time for to go out there and show us their craft. They're amazing together. Great in the ring.
Yeah. And there's definitely something to do there, but I've not been satisfied with that whole, like, as speaking about creative, I haven't been satisfied with that whole thing. I haven't been satisfied with a bunch of stuff. And I know you guys have talked about, but you kind of touched on it a little bit as far as like with the Seth Rollins injury, right? So I did say that, and you guys remember that. I basically told everybody flat out the moment it happened that shit was fake because wrestlers don't sell real injuries. They try to work through it. You know what I mean? And then they may realize, oh shit, I'm really hurt. But they don't just immediately collapse in pain after sticking a perfect landing a moonsault on their feet. Seth Rollins ain't that good. I've been watching him for well over a decade, very closely. I've seen him sell. I know he's not that good an actor. But the reason that everybody might have fell for it is because they probably just didn't smarten up a lot of the people that were involved. So they probably had to work some of the boys around that to get them to buy it so that they could have their moment. And then they had their moment and they completely fucked it up like last night. Like that was the shittiest possible way that you could have done it because all three guys ended up buried out of it. Right.
I think Gunther looks really bad though now.
Yes.
When you think about it.
You just flat beat that guy. Like you have this. I know Punk is the best in the world. I know that. I know that's how they're still pushing him as if he could still go. Well, in the wrestling, I'm the best podcasting. Yeah. But he's the best wrestling. So he's still like the old lion that still got it. But, Walter's supposed to be the young lion that has it now. Right. And you just beat him flat. And then Punk gets the title. And then here comes Seth, who promised that as long as there was breath in his lungs, CM Punk would never be the champion. And then he just watches this whole match and lets him be champion. And then he comes out on crutches and then he reveals that he's not hurt while CM Punk is in full view of him staring at him, watching him do all this from the top of the ramp or whatever. Like, and you just make him look like an asshole. And then he just goes in the ring and kicks his ass or whatever. Like, and then takes the title. So now everybody looks stupid. Everybody looks stupid for what they did. You wasted whatever you had. And then going back to it, right? So you go back to the night that he was supposedly hurt. So wait, so you mean he faked an injury and just let LA Knight beat him? And that was his plan?
Like, he's like, that makes sense. I can see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the loss here.
Yeah, I can see that.
No one will ever see it coming.
I like that move, Ed. I think that's smart because that lays it out here. Like, man, you know, why would you just take a loss?
But
here?
it makes Knight look this big too, man.
I think that long game for Seth that makes sense there. And now it does add intrigue because LA Knight can insert himself into the situation.
Right.
But the way that actually breaks that down, you know, we were trying to make sense of it last night. And I do think, as Seth did say, and with every last breath, my last breath will be that you are not champion. It's a little bit more devastating to have Punk taste that sweet nectar, to have that fruit in his hands and then take that from him. But
that was harsh.
With your trained eye, bet to add to that, CM Punk, you just went out and got dominated like a 90-10, 30-minute ass whooping.
Annoying, dude. That's true.
You somehow survived that. Gunther right now, his direction, as we joked last night, his only good booking going forward is going to be a plastic surgeon to fix whatever the fuck they did to his nose last night. He looks stupid as hell here. But for CM Punk to sit there and wait for Seth Rollins to take that time, limping ain't easy, making his way down to that ring on those crutches, you know, why not get the hell out of Dodge?
Mm-hmm.
You're winning. Hey, there, you know.
Well, they would justify it by saying, "Oh, a hero would never run away." But this is here's the thing:
if your army's getting beat down, you retreat and regroup.
I'm out of here, bro. Straight up. Absolutely.
Yeah, look, you can have your cake and eat it too here. All you had to do was, this is how I would have done it. You want to know, you know, people complain about shit and don't offer solutions. Well, I, the best in the world, will offer you a solution of what you should have done if you wanted to get to the exact same place. Now, again, if I had the pencil months back, we wouldn't have even been in this fucking situation. But since we're here now and you give me the pencil on the night of SummerSlam, this is what you do. You can either have Seth Rollins come down toward the end, or you can have Seth Rollins hobble out there with Paul Heyman and sit at the commentary desk with the guys. And then everybody's going to think, oh, he's going to do something. He's going to do something. And then he sits there and then he gets up and he does something. So whether he comes out at the end or whether he's there the whole time, all he's got to do is hobble over to the rope, start taunting CM Punk or somebody. And then when CM Punk looks at him or whatever, you whack him with the crutch. It doesn't matter if the referee sees it or not. You whack him with the crutch. It's a DQ. Match over.
Exactly.
And then you get in, then, you know, Gunther's like, what the hell are you doing? And then you whack him with the crutch. Right? You beat the shit out of him with the crutch. All the while, you still think this guy's hurt, but he's just running an angle like with his hurt leg. Right. Then you have Paul Heyman hand over the briefcase. And then it's like, okay, we're cashing in now that both these guys are fucked up off the crutch shots, right? And then
protects the other two too by doing it that way.
Yes, protects the other two because now you never know who would have won between the two.
Right,
now,
exactly.
So they still have unfinished business. Gunther's about to lose the title, but he won't be involved because he's, you know, whatever. So then you just have Seth Rollins win the match there, and then that's when Paul Heyman puts the belt on him. And when Paul Heyman puts the belt on him, he takes off the leg brace and jumps up and down. Like, I didn't even need to be in full power to take this, but guess what? I am at full power. And now you all have to deal with it. And both these guys are screwed.
Right.
See, I would have liked to do it with like him come down toward the end and do a triple threat cash in.
That's what I was
after he beats them both with crutches. And then, you know,
but to kind of piggyback on that, I get what you're saying. I would have liked to seen come down, cash in, make it a triple threat. He's just sitting there at ringside with the crutches still. Then you have the Muscle come in and just lay waste to both of the competitors because you don't have a disqualification at this point.
And that's
once it goes triple threat, you have the Muscle come in, keep him on the crutches, and have him go up there and pin CM Punk with a crutch on his chest.
Yeah, crutch on the chest. You know, anything you want to do, but you save that reveal moment to the very end after the deal is done. You know, like, oh, and by the way, I'm not hurt. It's just, that's how you do it. Seth gets the heat for keeping his promise. Sometimes it's okay for a heel not to be able to keep their promises, but in this case, because of the other guys involved, they've teased Gunther turning babyface. CM Punk says, I want to be the world champion on camera, but he doesn't quite get it. So if they ever do give it to him down the line, like it means more because he's had to keep trying to almost get it. It's the same thing that they should be doing with Sami Zayn, but instead it's Punk right now. So it's like he just gets that little bit further, you know. Walter's protected because, you know, it's this bullshit thing that caused him to lose. He didn't really lose. If you do it in the triple threat, you just make sure that, you know, Seth pins CM Punk and not, you know, Walter. And then everybody can get spun out into a different way. But what they did was none of that. And so, yeah, it ends up getting to the same place, but it's just that the details are what make things, you know, more satisfying. And
you're right.
Yeah, I just don't. I just don't feel like. I feel like those are the things that's missing in everything they do.
Again, that's why you're the man, dude. You explain things simply. It's simple, man. That's what's weird, and they just don't see it. But you know what? I want to also point out to you that you called another thing, and I don't know if, well, I'm sure you're aware, but your dude Cappuccino, man, you said it from the start, bro, like months ago, that this kid was going to be something, and what do you know? He's already on the way because he's become your WWE ID champion. So that's why he's the best in the world. He said it a long time ago. And already he's on his way up.
Yeah, just to continue the putting myself over train, and then we can get back to other things. Yeah, like I saw an 8x10 of this kid when they signed him to the ID program, and I was like, that guy. That's all I need. I just need the 8x10. I didn't even see him. I never seen him work. Never seen him cut a promo. I was like, look at this guy. This is the guy. Cappuccino Jones, what a name. He's got the look. Look at him. You know, it's the male version of look at her. It's a look at him. And it's money to me. And apparently they agree. Meanwhile, you have other people that are supposedly, you know, industry professionals that not only can't they see into the future, they can't even see what they're seeing.
Excuse me, you're right. I mean, I don't know how
certain people that have, you know, many more views and listens than we do talking about how great FTR is, for example. There may be a guy that thinks Okada is the worst, laziest wrestler who's ever lived or whatever. So, you know, but he can watch a whole match and not see anything, and I can see an 8x10 and see everything. That's why I'm the best in the world, and that's why I continue to push that narrative, as long as we're talking about narratives.
So I'm giving you your flowers on that one, man. I just want to point out, Liz says kept his word that Punk would never be champion under his watch.
Yeah, referring to my booking of it, because this way, what they did last night, he did not keep his word.
He didn't.
He let Punk be the champion. So now that's another championship in the collection of CM Punk's, you know, of his accolades, and Seth let it happen.
But it's that one that Punk looks at and knows it was gone just like that. It was crushed.
Yeah, but he still got it. He still won it straight up.
Nah, man,
it's true.
That's like sleeping with that hot chick, but you still get the HIV. It ain't worth it. Doesn't count.
Absolutely. Well, you know what? That was the news, fellas. There's really nothing else really to report on that actually really matters.
All right, see you.
Well, put your gloves on, Rick, because you're gonna start sifting through some wreckage when it comes to AEW with us, and let's hit it, man. Let's put our gloves on, vet. Let's do it.
All right. So we're starting off Dynamite with a tag team tournament eliminator something or other match. Why is it an eliminator? I thought eliminator was like the thing you do where you get like a non-title shot against the champion to see if you deserve it. But apparently you can just say any match is an eliminator now as long as you just say it is, right?
This eliminates all the unworthy teams.
I see. Okay. Yeah, that is what tournaments do.
Exactly.
It's kind of the whole thing. But anyway, it's the extreme Outrunners. They get a box promo versus the Young Bucks, which they get the jobber entrance where they're already in the ring doing
bro.
Yeah, that's funny. But then they get a box promo. So if we're shitting on them, why did they get a box promo?
It's Tony Khan. You know what I mean? He's just
whatever. No, I don't. I mean, you took away everything else. Why did they get a promo? You should have been like,
don't judge it. You're not supposed to. It doesn't matter. It's AEW.
Well, Todd Brantley isn't here yet, So
He's
we can't
not.
start just throwing that around. You know, we have to
We
start
can't.
criticizing it. Anyways, the Outrunners ain't winning this. They get the TK driver. And then Okada comes in to help kick their asses. And then Swerve runs in. And then they do a spot where they pinball Okada around with punches. And then he tries to escape before they can, do more. But then as he's leaving the ring, Swerve does a stomp on him from,
Jeez,
in the ring to the outside. Yeah.
The way he landed, like in between, like on the shoulder sort of thing, that he could have fucked himself and Okada up, but luckily it was all good. But is it weird for me to say I actually enjoyed this match, Vic?
No. I mean,
Actually,
the Young
from
Bucks
my
didn't do that
understanding-
much Young Bucks type stuff.
That's true.
Just a little bit.
But I actually thought this match was a good start to the show, and I actually, for whatever reason, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was pretty good.
Rick, did you even watch?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I that's why I'm here, baby. I've watched it all, baby.
Okay.
But, I thought, going into this thing, some of these opening round matches were very intriguing to me here. I'm not usually not a big tournament guy, especially how often they throw these things out here just to get us to a number one contender. One of the things that really jumps up to these last couple weeks, watching the fallout from All In, and it's something that you talked about, that was, where do we go forward from this? And it's been bugging me these last couple of weeks. If we get to aftermath here, even Swerve just pivoting now, like he's completely forgotten that assistance there with Hangman and the Death Riders are still doing their same
They're
thing that you
besties
called
Rick,
out.
Come on.
So he's completely pivoted in a new direction here, where he's occupied with Okada himself. I have had a little bit of humor inside of the Buck stuff, but there's little nitpicky things. Like, if you're going to take it away, take everything away, strip them completely down inside.
I
The
agree
match itself, I was expecting maybe this to be the best tag match of the tournament. We were going to get it in a first round, kind of throwaway. But I across the board, I mean, we're going to talk about a few more here. A lot of these pairings have really impressed me, and I've enjoyed the matches in it.
Oh, good. Well, somebody had to enjoy them. So Renee is with Mark Briscoe, and he's about to probably say something about MJF. And then here comes Ricochet and the gang. And Ricochet will suggest to Mark Briscoe that he should focus more on, show some love for him, I guess, is one way to put it. Because you got a match with me tonight, so I should be the focus.
But he has the decency to actually talk about MJF right while Ricochet is still standing there, which is kind of funny.
Yes, I like that. He's basically just, yeah. Well, Mark Briscoe's a national treasure. Ricochet is also a personal national treasure. I assume he'll be on a national scale before long, as long as he keeps his trajectory going. These are definitely the definition of my a la cartes, where I just is like, yeah, no, this stuff makes sense, or you could be doing it better, but I'm afraid I just like both these guys, so I love it.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree.
So what we get out of the order of this match, I mean, they kind of tell these guys, hey, man, you guys are picking up some steam. Obviously, a lot of people backing Briscoe. I'm one of them. Ricochet people are coming around on. I'm a little slower than you guys on this one here, but a lot to say, hey, we're going to need you to go out there and close and hold that segment that we know really drops off for us later tonight up. Kind of a big stamp of approval and a testing ground for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Well, speaking of MJF, he's backstage having a meeting with Benjamin Shelton, and Benjamin Shelton tells him that the watch that he gave him is fake, and you are out of the Hurt Syndicate. So this escalated quickly. What a waste of any of this stuff. Like, they've already decided to just not do it unless they're swerving us all. What if this is all just an elaborate scheme by MJF to make everybody think that he's all alone, and then when he gets his chance at Hangman, here comes the Hurt Syndicate and fuck the Cowboy. That's right, Brokeback Mountain, and MJF is the champion, and they're all friends after all. What if that happens? But if it doesn't, oh man, they blew it real bad. Jimmy?
Bad. It's kind of obvious that they have to be sticking up for him, right? It's got to be, or they've totally blew it because he didn't care about it. if anything, if they've separated them for real, does it look like MJF even cares? Like, he doesn't give a shit. So I'm hoping, that they are still together, or else, it was a big waste of time.
Yeah. I thought the entire thing was a waste of time from the very get-go. I wasn't a fan of this pairing. I thought it was a complete misuse of the Hurt Syndicate, especially where you could be going with the popularity, just the outright talent, how hot they were as a group. I think they're even a little wasted in that tag division, but that's another discussion. Well, yeah, it's not really much of a threat inside of that. I wanted to ask you guys here, though, with MJF, and we're talking about, is this the big work in there? But they have made it very clear. MVP's made it clear that they are in this for business. They get paid to hurt people. So could MJF just say, hey, brother, I need to buy your friendship here? That's exactly what I'll do. How much are we talking to make sure that you guys bring home that big, beautiful gold belt back to me, MJF? Or, we've seen the Syndicate with some run-ins here with a couple of guys that were MJF's old pals. How did the pillar fall apart? I can't recall there. It was there like
Pillar.
a major.
I don't know what you're talking about. There's no pillars in AEW.
We're not the pillars. What were they called? The Pinnacle?
Yeah, the pillars. Pinnacle? It was.
The Pinnacle.
I'm being sarcastic.
The
Pinnacle.
Did they just float apart, or was there like a hard fallout? I can't recall between MJF
it wasn't a hard
and FTR.
Fallout. It was It was actually they separated on good terms.
They just had their stupid stadium match and then didn't do anything anymore.
They literally, I remember them saying, I'm pretty sure that's what happened, right? They did. They all broke up like on good terms.
I'll take anybody's word for it because I don't remember.
See, that's what I can't recall.
They did.
I can't. So I'm just thinking, we've seen the Hurt Syndicate and FTR having some words, had that exchange going back to All In there. So does MJF go back to some old familiar faces and look for an alliance there as he's kind of dealing with these issues with the Hurt Syndicate and continuing to chase his championship?
I mean, you could, but again, this is the problem again with AEW anyway, man. They love starting things, but they don't know how to finish things, so they just stop. That's it. They just stop midway.
And furthermore, even starting things, they have not nearly got as much fun or mileage out of this grouping as they could have. This is potential for, comedic gold every week. And MJF has a good way of being funny without stopping being serious sometimes.
Right.
So it's a great dynamic that, the Hurt Syndicate, it adds a dimension there.
Definitely. 100%. So that Brady's right, by the way. Waldo was the only one treated like shit as the other guys left the group.
So, but yes, yes, they can't finish things, but sometimes they can't even start them, or they'll have the ideas great, and then they don't do anything good with their great idea. It just exists for a while until it fizzles out. That's why it's important to have more than just ideas.
Right, absolutely.
Anybody can have an idea, but then what do you do with the idea, right? So,
the good news is allegedly that Tony Khan now does creative meetings. Apparently that never used to happen beforehand.
A production meeting doesn't necessarily mean anything's getting done creative-wise. It could just be talking about technical stuff the whole time. I'm still writing the whole show, and everything I say goes, but we could talk about the camera angles. I don't know. Whatever.
It just could be handing out, hey, I need you to go shoot these pre-tapes here. Have them to me, have them to production for, to the truck, blah, blah, blah.
That's just apparently what they're saying.
If only AEW was smart enough to have a reality-based show on HBO Max that kind of pulled that curtain back. Maybe
they did,
or even on TBS or TNT as well. They could have had it. No.
Well, I'm pretty sure
maybe told us a story that was so amazing we would think it was unreal.
Yeah.
You know what, Vet? You're right about Unreal, as a matter of fact.
Of course I am.
You know what I mean?
Just add that to the pile of things I'm right about. By the way,
I really disagree with you on that because I enjoyed it.
That is the ultimate. I didn't even talk about this aspect of that dumbass, the way they fucked up the Seth thing, right? So, you mean to tell me in the week that you debut this show, where You're basically out there saying you're showing people laying out matches. You're showing enemies hugging each other. You're showing Cody, like Kevin's face all fucked up with his neck all fucked up, saying to Cody, "I fucked that up." Like you're showing all this stuff, and then you have the nerve as Triple H. You are gonna sit there at that bullshit press conference afterwards and say that you're not too happy about the falsified medical records. So like now you're treating this thing like Seth worked you. What?
I mean,
Are you fucking kidding me? How stupid can these people be? This is why you can't have things like that, because where do you draw the, like, you're trying to work the work? What's going on here? So he worked you about his medical records, but you still just allowed him to cash in a fake briefcase that you're showing on the show who you're picking to win the Royal Rumble, and you're making it seem like Seth went into business for himself with a fake knee injury. What are you talking about? Is everybody insane? What has happened to this planet?
that's why I said this got potential to alienate the fan base when you and I were talking about it yesterday on the SummerSlam review show, and that's the problem. And that's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to alienate the fan base. So I don't know what to say about that. It's just it's stupid. They shouldn't. If they're going to run this show, it should be like literally in sync with the actual product, even. But then again, that would be bad too. Either way, it's bad. Maybe they shouldn't have brought it out the way they did. Maybe they could have done it another way. But let's be real, man. I mean, even you said it, Rick. I mean, most of this shit is probably, worked. The way they look at the cameras too, they know the cameras are there, and the way they act it up. A lot of it is, like, even Stevie Richards said it on his show, for example, and shout outs to him. He said the way the production meetings went when he was around was nothing like it's shown on Unreal. So that's quite an interesting.
Look, I don't. No, you're missing the point. I don't give a fuck what they do in real life, but you made a show about it.
Right.
That's where you fucked up.
Right.
You don't need to show that, and you've been showing it. And as for anybody saying, oh, Vince McMahon would shut up again. He Tough Enough was under him. Exposing the business legally was under him because he didn't want to pay taxes in certain states.
That's true.
Okay? Man. So, like, don't talk about what Vince would or wouldn't have done. He's done. Fuck him. He's irrelevant now. Stop talking about him. It's over. But I'm just saying, like, if you're already just coming out with Unreal, this is the big debut of Unreal, and saying everything's fake, every last single thing is fake, then just at the press conference, don't act like you got worked by Seth Rollins' knee. That's all I'm saying. It's just that simple. It's not about compartmentalizing or anything else. It's about, and I bet, and I have a personal hunch, actually, because Triple H is a certain person from a certain generation, I feel like a show like Unreal is killing him inside. But I just don't think he's in a position to deny it. I know people are positioning this like they're saying he's like, oh, this is just self-aggrandizing, like Triple H is putting himself over with this. This is a whole vehicle to get Triple H over. Well, he's doing all this stuff regardless if the cameras are on or not. And I think that this is probably somebody else's push and somebody else's idea. And I know that the guy that grew up watching Harley Race and Ric Flair and like those guys and stuff like that, there's got to be a part of him that this is just like, I'm dying. I can't believe we're doing this. But what else can you do? He's in no position now with the situation and TKO and everything and the revenue and all this and Netflix and yada, yada, yada. And the forces beyond his control. He's like, I just wanted to run wrestling myself. I didn't know it was going to come with all this, like, I'm sure he's trying to talk himself into it and he's trying to be cool with it so he doesn't have another heart attack. But I know it's got to be bothering him. If it bothers me this much, it has to bother him because he put in the road miles and bled and sweat and he drove those drug addicts up and down the roads for years and he married a fucking boss's daughter that he might have barely even liked when he met her. Like, he did all this stuff to get where he is now just to have a show exposing everything he's done in his entire career. There's no way he's 100% cool with it. No way. Not a chance. But he has to go along with it so he doesn't have another heart attack.
Shit.
Back to AEW. So Tony Schiavone, you may have heard of him. He brings out Christian Cage. And I'm giving you the very Cliff's Notes version of this, Rick. He's an asshole. He disowns his family. He gets attacked on the ramp. And then they give him the old school concerto, the way they used to, standing up.
You're also forgetting or didn't mention that Mrs. Wayne has got a big gash.
Ooh.
Very big, very deep, apparently, too, according to
That's
Christian. But I want to say this. I don't know if your feed's done this, but I didn't see the beatdown. For whatever reason, I was watching on ESPN in Australia, obviously, because that's who's got the rights. And abruptly, it cut away from Christian, went to a commercial break, and then it comes back from commercial break, and they mentioned how Nick Wayne and Kip, kicked the shit out of Christian, but I never saw that. I never got to see that. Did you guys actually see that?
I did.
Yes.
Wow. What
it's right there for us. I guess ESPN.
No shit.
I guess the only major swings and misses they won on the network down there is from Major League Baseball.
Yes,
that's
ESPN.
That's the big one
Pricks.
making the round. So I'm interested there on, that is the talk of this thing, Vet, to get your take on this thing. Obviously, when they're doing that, complete whip there. How are they walking through that in the production meeting, if they are beforehand, or is it something they just say, we're going to go out there and nail this thing? So is that how they practice that thing? How are they going to talk about landing that? What goes so wrong? What goes off the rails with something where such a whiff like that?
Well, you know me, I barely pay attention to these shows. I just more like absorb them through my skin, Like that's kind of
floating around the internet though a little bit.
But I didn't watch. I didn't watch any of the clips. I didn't watch any of the replays. I hear after the fact it didn't look good. What I remember hearing, or what I remember from the segment itself, was I heard the clang of the chairs, and I was like, "Oh, they didn't do the thing where he just lays down with his face on a chair like they started doing when this shit became dangerous." And people were a little more worried about concussions or whatever, which tells me that back in the day, Edge and Christian probably clipped a few people doing it this way, and that's why they stopped doing it. So, if anything, I'm sure that what happened was Christian sort of walked them through it a few times, and they were overly worried about taking care of him because of his history of concussions and stuff like that. So they'd rather err on the side of caution. And it may have worked because, like I said, I wasn't staring too closely at it, so to me it just looked like they nailed him with it. I didn't see that fucked up because I just heard the chairs clack and then I saw him fall, so I was like, oh, okay, they're doing that. Bold of them. But now I guess if I went back it would look like shit, but I didn't go back, and so I'm just guessing based on what you guys are describing that's regardless of how it ended up, that's how they would have got there. Christian would have said, this is how we did it, run through it a few times without me, and then we'll try. We'll do one with me or whatever. And I'm sure they just didn't want to hurt him.
I would agree there with Frank. That was my immediate reaction to it. Is why do we need that spot? If we've got the young kids, you're putting them. You got live television here. No matter how many times you're going through that rehearsal, you're not probably going to get that right. Does it add anything? Even if they had executed there, are we going to be talking about Wayne and Kip Sabian, like, oh my God, they are ready for the next level. This thing is taking off. No, I mean, does it add? They could have just done a regular one at the top of the ramp, or a more familiar one in the laid out position.
Is Vet frozen by any chance?
Either that or he is deep in thought.
Because I thought he was in deep thought for a moment.
He might be. That is the deepest thought that I've ever seen the Vet go into. But we'll pause on that as he kind of sorts through his thoughts, so he can articulate that to us, to tell why I'm wrong and why they needed that thought. I'm sure. But I guess, Jimmy, as we're waiting for him to come back, are you buying into this Wayne and Kip Sabian alliance here? Are these guys looking like threats, or we need to speed up and hurry up and just get to the payoff that we know we're getting? It is Cope and Christian back together again.
Well, yeah, that's what it is, and that's what the end game is, of course. Now, look, I don't mind Nick Wayne. I can't stand Kip Sabian though, man. So
okay, so here's my thing with it too. I don't really have much use for Kip right now. He is a background guy that should just be like a young boy. If he's going to be in a group like that, he's feeder. He's the one that's regularly getting the ass kicked.
Absolutely.
I don't need to hear him. I don't need to give him, him giving advice to Wayne on it. I think Nick Wayne is still continuing. He's still so young, right? Early 20s.
Yeah, man. He's only like 20 years old, 21.
Okay,
something like that.
2020, 21. He needs to continue to spend time doing whatever he's doing in Ring of Honor. I don't think he's ready for a spot on a platform like Dynamite or Collision. He's got to work on his physique a little bit. At 2021, he's not grown into his body yet. So again, he's got to keep developing that. Even standing there at times, I mean, Mama Wayne towers over that entire group. And so, like, there was 2 weeks ago, the way he had him positioned, like in the middle of those guys when they did the uncaged like spot, he looked like a fucking Muppet. And like the camera was only like catching him from his shoulders because they were trying to frame her into the entire thing.
It's true, man. And she does tower too. And thank you, Josh. Yeah, he's 20 years old. I did say 2021, but yeah.
Right. So very, very young. I mean, obviously he has this in his genes, born into this business. I'm not trying to knock him, saying that there's
And he
no
does
future, should be
understand
gone.
a lot of the fundamentals too, Rick, to be fair to him. You know what I'm saying?
I get that, but he's still a kid, and you're trying to present him in a grown-ass man's world. I think for where he's at right now, yes, he still needs quite a bit of time there in maybe working things out under the Ring of Honor banner instead of a platform like Dynamite or Collision.
No, absolutely. And Vet, I don't know if you heard what Rick asked you initially, but I'll go ahead
Don
and ask
Stevens,
again.
Don Stevens.
Yeah, we were literally you're in deep thought. It was a perfect freeze, I must say. But as long as you're back, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I heard everything he asked, and it cut out when I was starting to respond. But could you re-ask the question, please?
All right. What is the need for the standing spot? Instead of, can't we just get the same, effectiveness through the more traditional now, the laying down at the top of the ramp? I know we've seen it in the ring, but now we're at the top of the ramp, so it's a different setting, I guess, presentation.
It doesn't matter what they do. We've already stopped talking about the fork. Like there's no reason to do any of this. They should just shut the whole company down. No, I'm just kidding. No,
turn the lights out.
Yeah, but
great news, parent company. We've saved you a ton of money.
That's right. Well, actually, I think Tony's paying to be there, but I mean, regardless, Jimmy, you said that you didn't even see it.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I heard about it online, about the concerto. And funny that you guys were explaining that it looked bad. From what I was reading, apparently people were saying, I don't know if they were trying, I didn't see it, that it looked devastating. So I find that quite interesting.
You can tell from the television shot, yes, because they did a good, they panned back on it. But in an arena, you've got all these other cameras there. There are always, in this day and age, there are all these other eyes on the prize here, and it was some different fan shots that would pick up the obvious whiff.
Right.
It didn't look overly devastating, awesome on television, but you really couldn't tell it was literally, they were like a foot off of him. So it wasn't even like they grazed him a little bit. It was a big miss. But you fan cam stuff.
Yeah, you can't go with fan cams because you're not supposed to see that. We shouldn't be seeing that.
But you're going to, Vet.
It doesn't I'm not saying you should do a shitty job, but I'm saying that's why I didn't notice there was anything up, because when I was watching the TV version, it seemed okay. And that's all that most people are going to see. Not every psychopath is going to run and start looking for fan footage of shit, especially not on a random, Dynamite. So I just, yes, you should do it better. But to your point, there's no benefit of doing it at all because it's not going to be remembered and Chris is not going to sell it. He's just going to come back and it's just going to end up being on a wrestling match. Because we have to settle personal issues with our wrestling match with rules where you're standing on the apron waiting for a tag. Just like the Wyatt Six, the supernatural killers, how they just wait with their arms on the ropes waiting for a tag, That's how we're going to settle all this real personal life and death stuff. So it's not enough that you just turned on him and then you're going to build the anticipation of these two sides eventually coming to meet in a wrestling ring by having them not interact until then, so that the people will be clamoring for it. No, let's just do all the same stuff we always do. Jump people outside the ring with no repercussions, commit heinous violence, have all of Tony Khan's assets eliminated from his company, and he's totally fine with it, just sitting in the back, getting ready to run out there at the end of the show and talk about Time Cop again. You know, like this is what we're all doing. They're just wasting everything. They've been hot-shotting this company for 5 years. Fact. Nothing new. So now we get a stand-up concerto. Great. And then all that anybody's talking about is how shitty some of the fan cams look. I don't know. There's no answer. There's no logical answer to your question. I'm just, but this is what they do. Whatever Jimmy said earlier about they have an idea and they don't know what to do after that. Okay, so
it's bizarre, man. It's just bizarre to me. These companies, the way they do things, it just I don't get it. But
you guys ever go to a Taco Bell and try to order a concerto?
Hey, maybe. I mean, why not?
Yeah, it's one of those, late at night.
No, fun fact. We do have an ice cream bar called Cornetto here, so close enough. Yeah.
No, it's
goddamn.
True story. Cornetto.
Motherfucker. Big Stoke does a promo. And then the Bucks walk in for handshakes. We're gonna shake some hands.
With all the EVPs? What was that about? That was like, where the hell did that come from?
I don't know. I think Stoke is working on a different level than everybody, and they don't know how to deal with it. Basically, like he throws a lot of stuff in there that I'm sure not only does it go over most of the audience's heads, but I'm sure that all the talent is just like, I mean, I don't know what he's talking about, but I like him. Like, I'm sure that's the general sentiment. But to me, I think it's pretty funny. But yeah, nothing else to see here. Well, let's move on quickly. Page versus Mox in the middle of the show. It's your main event,
love it.
World title rematch. We got extra security now because you know that everyone's banned from ringside. So we got these extra securities, which we've seen various and sundry small females beat the shit out of all the security. So we know that they're very effective in this role that they have here.
Very effective.
Mm-hmm. And wouldn't you know, later on in the match, Claudio and Marina both try to sort of circumvent the security.
What do you know? Surprise, surprise. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have had, okay, you've given me the stipulation. Everyone is banned from ringside. What does that mean? What is, if you break this rule, this stipulation, what is the reaction for your actions?
Well, you're asking too many questions,
are you
Rick.
fined? Or are they going to try to raise money back for those $400,000 payoff matches that they're putting out there?
Rick.
Is there suspensions? Because obviously there was no repercussions. There was no punishments to be handed down. Because as Vet's saying here, as the match itself unfolding,
Rick, stop it. Stop.
Well, they've only done like attempted murder, kidnapping, bleach drinking, they've only done a few of those things. So like sliding in to hit somebody with a wrestling belt.
Trespassing is a major issue in this country, Vet, and we need to make a stand against it in our professional wrestling. And this is criminal trespassing.
Dude, do I have to neuralize you motherfuckers? Like, seriously, do I need to like neuralize?
Yeah.
He's not supposed to be talking about these guys. Come on.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So eventually Marina makes it so that the belt is available and Page gets cracked with the belt and then he kicks out of it. And then Darby's up on the castle and then he jumps off the castle and then Page hits 2 buckshots on Jon Moxley and retains the title. I mean, that's a very Cliff's Notes version of the whole thing, but that's the important stuff. I mean, Rick, did this live up to the rematch potential for you?
Again, if you're going to stick with this thing, and I was hoping they would have put this thing to rest, going back to All In, do something to pivot away from this thing. Maybe a little selfish. I see where they're getting it. They want to have a big blow off there for that six big shows in Chicago. They're hoping this is a draw there. I would have loved to seen a wait to have. You're going to blow this thing off. Let's go visit some history where Mox got his head knocked, his block knocked off right here in a couple weeks in Cincinnati. Him and Page to revisit that thing. We should have had a Skyline Chili Street fight to settle this thing. That's what should have absolutely happened. 3 and 4 ways allowed at ringside, whatever the hell you want, you bring it, you've got it for the match. Is this, are we finally to rest here? Is Hangman and the Death Riders a thing of the past, which it looks like we are, that he's moving on to Darby here, but does that mean?
Well, Jimmy, you can try to answer that.
Does that mean we're
basically your turn?
Are we going to get an Eliminator tournament here for a new number one contender?
Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. Isn't the Continental Classic coming up? Aren't we due for that?
Yeah, well, the Continental Classic, it's built in that nobody's allowed at ringside. So we're going to have all this stuff settled. We won't even need the extra security. Yes. Everybody will just obey the rules.
That's right. So, yeah, don't worry. We'll have a tournament to settle this, Rick. It's coming. It's coming very soon. 100%.
Yeah. But hey, I did like right in the middle of the show. They know where their audience is peaking at when they're going to drop off here. Let's give it to you right here. Let's knock it out of the park. Let's get it out of the way. Hopefully this is it. Hopefully we put this thing to rest. We'll move on here as we do have criminal trespassing here. But yeah, let's get to that attempted homicide that we have coming up here in the show.
Oh, I was just talking about stuff that Death Riser did in the past, but yes, we definitely
we have attempted homicide coming up on this episode.
We get a package on Dustin Rhodes and Kyle Fletcher for tomorrow. As of this airing, it would have been tomorrow, Thursday. So we get a little package for that. And then we get Billy Starks and Athena versus Tony Storm and Alex, what's her name? Alex Winters?
Winter, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, Alex Winter.
Winters is coming.
Yes. Well, she's here.
Yeah.
she's here, I guess. For better or worse, she's here. So I thought this match was entertaining, but there was some whack psychology. For example, they were getting heat on Alex, and then at one point she just made her own comeback because they had pulled Tony off the apron, before the hot tag could happen. So they got rid of her so that Alex had to sell more, but instead of just selling more and then making the big tag to Tony, she just kicked both their asses and then made a cold tag to Tony. So not a lot of tag team professionalism here in this match, but hey, that's just me nitpicking as a tag team specialist. Also, I guess the new rib for Tony Storm is Mongolian chops. Like, I guess that's the new fun rib.
Jesus Christ, man. It's funny, don't get me wrong, but
it's funny, but that's house show stuff. Well, I don't think they should do that on. But again, like on this TV show, who cares? Just do it. I guess is the point.
It's a weekly thing at this point.
Yeah, but then the match comes to a shocking conclusion when Athena tags herself in, and then while Tony Storm has a submission on, and hits the O face and pins Tony Storm 1, 2, 3. You know what that means? She automatically earns a title shot, even though she's already got a title shot in the bank.
Right. So,
but if you pin a champion, I mean, damn, that's just as good as a title shot. So now she's basically got double title shot. Double. What do you think about that, architect? So there you go. She says to the camera, it's just a matter of time.
I'm sure it is. Hopefully it is.
Athena's definitely on my a la carte menu. Billy Starks is just a package part of the deal. Otherwise, I would definitely leave her in the salad bar. But
yeah, definitely.
But as a duo, I like the dynamic of Billy's done the emancipation angle twice now and failed. She's still under the thumb, which I like. I like the long term, like You will
2 years.
never. That thing where people want you to break free. You ain't getting it. You're still my slave. I like that.
Obviously, the long-term deal with them two is Billy Starks eventually, leaves and gets over
They keep trying it.
But she's already she's fought Athena twice for titles and lost, and she keeps going back. So I love it. I love this. I love the resubjugation. No one ever does that. Everybody just blows off the angle and then they move on like nothing ever happened. I like how Billy just is like, until I can beat him, I gotta join him. So there you go.
But it confuses me. Why did they do? How long has this been going for? 2 years now.
2 years,
right? Yeah. So why did
for us it just looks like a matter of a few weeks, but it's been going for 2 years.
This basically started while Billy was still in high school.
You're right. She's about to graduate college and still be Athena's minion.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, shit. And that's the only thing, really.
That's if Athena lets her make the walk there at graduation in college.
That'd be awesome. But they wouldn't do that. They should, but they wouldn't.
They could.
They won't think that deep.
What if they did?
I think with Billy though, it is kind of crazy watching that. And I think it is so cool. That she gets to perform on that stage. I remember working shows with her when she started. I mean, she was turned pro wrestling for like 2.5, 3 years before she was even allowed to wrestle in her home state because of the athletic commission in Kentucky.
Yeah, she's from Kentucky, and you got to be 18, right?
Yeah, and she started training like at 15 and a half, and had her debut at 15 and a half, 16 years old. So she was hitting those circuits in Indiana, here in Southern Ohio and all that. I mean, the girl skipped her prom to go to an indie show.
No shit.
Yeah, so it is cool to see, to have got to like ring announce, you called some of her matches early on and that, and to be on this stage. But again, it's kind of like what I was talking about with Wayne. She's still so young.
Right.
And but I think, as Vet was saying, in this role as that minion, and maybe it's that she is young and naive. Yeah, it's funny that she just continues to fall back into that. No. If you want to run your mouth, Athena's going to beat you down, then get back in line. That's the way that it's been.
And quite frankly, sorry, Jimmy. Quite frankly, she's just a little too weird to do it on her own right now.
Yeah.
And that's understandable. She's still very much young. She's only 20 years old. Like, still, she's got plenty of time to, move forward, obviously. And to be fair, Rick, she's in a good spot, right? I mean, I wouldn't be angry about being in this spot at that age.
No. Hey, she had a great branding team. I believe it was her mother that helped her out with that.
Really?
They knew early on how to get her out there. I mean, she was doing interviews, they had merchandise,
in many
all
ways,
of that kind of stuff. What's that?
She was kind of an indie darling, like long before she signed with AEW. I mean, everyone knew of it. Like I heard about it. Like
that was their sense of their marketing, their PR, and formatting her brand as that teenage wrestler. That was, everybody wanted a piece of that. It was a great selling tool. She was on with Sam Roberts' show, and that kind of sparked it and took it to that next level with it. It took her, to get that national attention. And then obviously got the run there, sparked, piqued Tony Khan's interest. And she's been, kind of honing her craft and doing a lot of things here for the last couple of years with Athena and Ring of Honor. But again, as Jimmy is, for a lot of us, it's hard to follow what's happening in Ring of Honor, because that essentially is their development system. It's what it's there for. So now we're just getting a small window, a glimpse of that long-term story that they've been telling down there.
Which is the only long-term storytelling they've been doing, and actually doing it pretty right, which is weird because everything else seems just out of whack. So,
but once they bring it to television, they're expecting us to know this 2-year history of Ring of Honor.
If Vet didn't tell me what was going on, with them two in Ring of Honor, I wouldn't have known shit. Put it that way. So, and that's the thing. They need to explain that, but they don't because they assume that everybody already knows.
That's a you fault. That's a you problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
God damn it.
I was looking to see if I could find my Kentucky wrestling license, but I can't.
Oh, you actually had to have a.
That's why that's all that noise was. Me sifting around. I was trying to find it.
Yeah, I was thinking, what are you doing? But anyway,
hold on. I was going to say, but in 5 years, I might be able to find mine because I am actually licensed in Kentucky.
Oh, you too?
Yeah.
Mine is not as a in-ring talent. They have different levels. You have to be licensed to be anywhere on that show. So mine is I technically can't take up bumps, but I had to be licensed to do commentary, to do ring announcing, things like that.
No, she see even to do that, you need a license. That's pretty.
Yeah, everybody has to be licensed. Money, everybody has to be licensed, but anybody can be. So it's not that special.
Right, you don't pay your money through hoops and shit, right?
You just pay your money. You can pay your money and fill out your application.
$20 for an e-pass, or $45, and they'll send you the printable thing so you can put it in a plaque up on your wall or a frame up on your wall.
I had like the card license.
Yeah.
It was like,
I think it was like 12 or 15 back then. I can't remember. But anyways, so Renee is with Hang Person, and then MJF comes in and taunts him, and then Page threatens his life, basically.
Excuse me. Again, with the threats of murder in this company, it's got to stop, man. I've had enough.
This is an intense business.
It's very... Especially this company is very intense.
Right. Which brings us to our next performer, Willow Nightingale. She's with Alicia, and she says that, you guys are the Triangle of Madness. Well, I'm the Trapezoid of Grapazoid.
I need that t-shirt. I like that t-shirt.
Yeah. She's a Trapezoid of Grapazoid. And she says that she got ghosted by Tekla when she challenged her, so she just went straight to Tony and said, I want a match. And he said, you got it. And so that's going to happen on Collision.
I look forward to talking about that.
All right. Well, before you get to that, you got to show some love for Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe. Now, if this wasn't... If your main event wasn't going to be the title match, this was a great main event anywhere in the world, as Booker T would say. So yeah, just real quick, this is kind of what happens. GOA does the jump up, early on, and they're going to be a factor throughout the match here and there. And Ricochet's going to hit Vertigo, but Mark's going to kick out, and then Brodito's going to come out. Now, I had already named them Brodito. For the record, you guys know, you can check the tapes.
That's true.
More on that later. So Mark hits the J Driller. So that's the match part of it. Jimmy, anything to say about the match itself?
No, it was a good match, but the Gates of Agony and Ricochet,
GOA,
whatever, GOA, the goers, all right. Yeah. They looking good, man. I actually like their look, their presence. They don't come across like jobbers anymore, like they used to for a good 3 years at one point. I think.
Well, wait, pause. I don't think they ever came across as jobbers. They definitely were jobbed, but they look professional on their end. All right, go ahead, continue.
They look much better now, though. This current look, I absolutely love compared to what they were before that. And I love that they're henchmen to Ricochet. The only thing is the way Briscoe won the match surprised me because, I wasn't expecting him to win this match. But if you notice now, Vet, he's starting to get wins. Are they going to lead to anything now, though? That's the thing, man. Or is it
talking about Mark?
Mark Briscoe, right. Mm-hmm. Or is it all just smoke and mirrors?
I mean, hey, as Rick will tell you, in sports, sometimes you got to get hot at the right time. So I think that's what we're seeing.
So, but are you saying it's just another strong win for Mark Briscoe?
No, I'm saying it's a big main event, See, the strong win is when like some guy comes out of nowhere that hasn't been on TV in like 6 weeks and gets one win over some guy right before he's about to lose to somebody else in a title match. That's what a strong win means in our universe.
Right.
This is a quality win for Mark Briscoe, although with all the interference and all the shenanigans surrounding the match before, weeks leading up, currently, after, I feel like we could have gotten out of beating Ricochet somehow, but they did what they did. So it's too late now. Yeah, but I'd rather not. I'd rather not do it. I'd rather everybody think that's what was going to happen. Like he hits the J Driller and then some shit happens, whatever. But, leave it ambiguous so that Ricochet can always say, you didn't beat me. You didn't beat me. You always got to give not every heel, but heels like that. You want to keep them annoyingly strong, I guess.
And one other question before we move on to Collision. Does this mean we possibly might have Ricochet absolutely fucking up Mark Briscoe when he has his program with MJF? Because I've got a feeling they're going to do something silly like that, man.
Could be. Could we see a bunch of weird unions? Who knows? Well, what do you think, RBV?
The entire thing is the wins and losses here with Briscoe.
It matters in AEW, Rick. Come on.
No, I mean, it matters in wrestling at certain extents here because with Briscoe, you have a lot of the comedy just associated with his routine. So picking up some big,
I'll give him that.
But to really solidify that, you need to have some big W's. This is a big W for him to get some of that steam going forward. If you want to do some things with him now, I kind of like the question you asked Vet there. Where is that ceiling? Right. Where does he hit that point? Is it that he can't, that big payoff that we're hopefully looking for, that he gets that comeuppance, gets that payback to MJF for what he's been saying about the family and more particularly himself, that he should have been the brother. I think with Ricochet, the losses aren't going to hurt him right now, because he is hitting on that level where he's just that annoying little gnat that you'll continue to love to come back to see just get punched in the face.
Absolutely.
And for Ricochet, he in that character, he can no sell all that. Where that loss, it never happened. What the hell are you talking about?
Exactly.
And he can just continue to roll on. And that adds some more of the arrogance and the annoyance behind the character. So I like it there. I think there's intrigue of where is the ceiling? How high can Briscoe go? You kind of talk about those lovable, connectable characters, more like kind of like a modern day when we got the glimpse into the real persona of a Mick Foley when he started to come out from behind the mask of a Mankind. You want to rally behind somebody like Briscoe like that. He's a real dude.
Oh, for sure.
He's the salt. He is the salt of the earth. He is Mr. Blue Collar. That you want to sit down and crack a Pabst Blue Ribbon beer with and just 100%. Kick it, next to that bonfire. He's that guy that you can rally a lot of just general fans behind. And I hope they can capitalize on that. And again, with Ricochet, everybody's just relatable, wants to punch that dude in the face no matter where he's at. He ain't even got to talk. He ain't got to talk. He just shows up and it's that, hey, just look at him. You want to see him get punched in the face.
Mm-hmm. Dude, when Briscoe slapped him on the on the top of his head, man, that was a hard slap, dude. Right on the noggin. Reminds me of like cracking an egg over his head. But I love that, how they do that. You know what I mean? They just concentrate on his bald head.
Yeah, in a
fans.
Right. In a sport where I've accused everybody of being a bald white guy with a beard, Ricochet has somehow turned being bald into something to get booed over when literally everybody's bald. That's how good of a heel he is.
He's a genius. I didn't see it at first, but I so do now, and it's amazing to see. All those things. But as far as the ceiling of Mark Briscoe, it's they jobbed him out too much, like leading up to this. But at least now that he's winning, but there's that. It was the thing of like where he's saying it in the promo, like whether that's his idea to justify it or whether it's somebody else or it just worked out that way. But he's saying like Max flipped a switch in him and now he's different. So all you really need for a character is you just need that one thing to make it believable. Like why would anything change? Why would you not just keep losing? Well, it's because all of a sudden now, I guess I wasn't focused before, but now I am, or whatever excuse you need. It could be for a heel, it could be for a babyface, anything that you need. At least they somewhat acknowledge that. So like I give them partial credit. They absolutely
partial
did.
Credit for that. So now that the match is over, he calls out MJF and goes on this long sort of, I guess I would even say ill-advised diatribe about like, he's not gonna go to heaven because he's gonna kill MJF and he's not gonna be forgiven. Which,
AEW, come on, man. That's what they do. They threaten murder in this company.
Threaten murder, or they attempt it, like right there on the air. Everybody's fine with it.
Oh boy.
So he does that, and then MJF comes up on the screen, cuts the promo on him, like, you didn't think I was gonna blah 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 blah, says the same old shit he always says. But then, and I know secretly, no matter what, Tony Khan must have really loved this because MJF did the time cop he's in two places at once. So as he's up there on the screen, he nails Mark Briscoe from behind. And he's like, who's the coward now, Hangman? And he's like beating the shit out of Mark Briscoe, and then Hangman comes out, and then Max escapes.
Of course he did. He had to come out, the hero himself. Look, overall, I actually didn't mind this show. It was, for me, it felt like it was better than the last couple of weeks anyway, to be honest. The last few weeks have been absolutely just crap for me. So overall, I actually dug this show. I mean, I've seen worse, put it that way.
There we go, Jimmy. I don't know if that's a big endorsement that you've seen worse. I mean, if it's that big of a praise, this was
for some weeks it is,
right?
Yeah, no, some weeks it really is. But no, because it's funny because you and I spoke about it, Rick. You said you didn't really like the show per se, and so I was going into it with totally like, I'm going to shit on it. To my surprise, for whatever reason, I enjoyed it. I don't know why. Can't explain it. It just seemed more structured than usual, even though there was a lot of crap on it still. But it just didn't seem as bad as previous weeks.
Maybe it's because of actual matches and quality
mattered.
You had a better top to bottom, because even like, so if you're starting with the Outrunners and the Young Bucks, they had a good match. I don't like the Young Bucks, but the match was fine. They toned down some of their bullshit. You had Page versus Moxley, which, even if you don't care about those guys, which I don't, but just the idea you're delivering a pay-per-view rematch on free television, so there's something there. Sure, you're going from a match where literally everything happened and everybody tried to kill everybody to a regular wrestling match, but whatever, again, compartmentalize, right? So, but you're just looking at the main event. You had that tag team women's match, which was good and entertaining, even though they need to learn about tag team psychology. And you had, the main event of Mark Briscoe and Ricochet. Like, that's a great main event. The real main event was in the middle, but at least this wasn't like Daniel Garcia versus somebody, like
a good close to stick
done.
Around for. And I think it was Beth saying there and talking about the show. And going back and looking at it, breaking it down, one of the positives about this show, for better or worse, for your taste, at least there was some business being done in each of the matches.
That's exactly
and the segment.
what mattered the most for once.
Yeah, a lot of times when they stick the real main event in the middle and then put on something at the end, the thing at the end has nothing to do with nothing and doesn't have any business attached to it, and there's no hot angle with it. It's just some lower mid-card bullshit. But this time it's like a top angle with top guys and a hot angle. So that, and Ricochet was like the innocent bystander and all this. Like, I'm involved in two other guys' angle just randomly in this match. But because it's Ricochet, he can always make lemonade and chicken salad. He got
pull that heat out of those other things that are going on.
But I just would have liked the finish to be like a little something different, where neither guy had to take an L. But
right, not again.
I guess no one's gonna remember in 50 years from now, or 50 minutes. No one's gonna remember. So
50 minutes, more like it.
And and from this show, I've learned, instead of a Cherito, I think I want a Broito. That's a better hidden menu item from Taco Bell.
All right. Well, we'll get to it. We'll definitely get to it.
Brodito or whatever the hell it is.
Brodito. All right. Well, TN Couponer wants to, he says he hopes AEW can continue this momentum. Well, here's the continuation of the momentum right here. They're going to collide. Collision is going to collide like Vince McMahon with somebody doing 90 miles per hour in his Bentley.
Watch out, shitheads. Vince coming through.
Yeah, pal, move out of the way.
Yeah, we're definitely starting out hot because the Death Riders throw a security guard right into the frame in front of the announce desk. This is Lance Archer's gimmick. We're doing it now. Then Mox gets in there. He's like, "Get out of here, Darby. I know you're here." And then he shows up in the castle balcony, and then like Rapunzel, and then he's like
Rapunzel,
he disappears back into the darkness, and then the Death Riders go after him, hunting him down. We'll see more of that later. We get a recap of the previous night's title match, because damn well if you tune in for Collision, you probably missed Dynamite, so there's no way you could have seen this. So let's give him a recap of that. And then we get Brodito, which actually the graphic and actually the name of these guys, I guess it was just a layup. Most of the time when I give people a gimmick funny name to entertain you guys, they don't go with it. But this time, apparently they actually did, because I've been calling them this since they first.
They did it twice, actually, with you. With what you called the other one was with what do you call it? Scorpio Sky's team.
Yeah, I didn't name
Remember
them.
what they called? Yeah, you did.
Skyflight.
Yeah, we're saying what could we call them? And you came up with that name and blah blah blah. And the next you know it, they're actually using that.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I'll just take your word for it that I am
It was
a
a
genius.
couple of weeks ago. If anyone listens back to it, we're just spitballing names, and then that was
check
one
the
of them.
tapes.
Check the tapes exactly.
So Brodito versus GOA. I noticed in this match that Toa has new trunks and he's wearing boots now, and he looks really good. He's lost weight, like he's slimmed down quite a bit. So he's looking lean. He looks like very, like even more, like him and Bishop are like, they're looking similar, like a tag team. So they got a good look going. That's kind of what you were probably alluding to, right, Jimmy? Because on Dynamite they were more or less in like just street clothes, but here they had the new gear and the new look, and Toa's noticeably slimmer.
He way more slimmer, man. He looks amazing actually right now, but both of them do, and I just like their new look per se. Like it works for them. But what worries me, I just hope they don't get wasted like they have been for the last 3 years. At the very least.
Well, if there's going to start any momentum, it ain't going to be here, because Brody monkey flips Bandito into some rotating splash gimmick for what was actually a nice ending to a flat comeback. It was very like when they tagged Brody Lee in, like this match like took a nap. Like it was just like, ugh. Everything sucked. Everything was slow. Everything was boring. It was just very blah. And then the move they did to win was good, but everything up to that, and the fact that they fucking beat GOA again.
I know that's the problem though, and that's what worries me, man. How do you not look at these guys and not want to actually push them a little bit, man? That's what I don't understand.
I don't know, but Tony's been doing it for years.
And I agree with you guys here. I remember when the first time I saw these guys, I was like, holy shit, we've got something here. And then immediately after like 3 or 4 times of seeing them, it's like, all right, you can dismiss this because they're not going anywhere. They're just going to be big, big meaty men who are putting over moveset guys. That was that early impression. Let me ask you this, Vet. Obviously, it would have been very nice. We've got this group with them. They're supposed to have this new attitude, this new flavor to go out there, get a win. Is it just an issue? They shouldn't have been involved in this Eliminator tournament, because there is the science of the tournament. We're looking at the bracketology about matching up babies and heels and looking at wins to go into different rounds. Because this is the side of the bracket, right, where they're getting – who are they getting?
I'm the wrong person to ask.
Are they coming out of the bottom? They got FTR, or are they going to get the Bucks here? So, I mean, it could have been just bad placement. I mean – if you're not going to have these guys run through this thing, why have them be feeder for just maybe something another story you're trying to tell?
I don't know. It's confusing.
There's only so much you can do with you have all these tag teams and you have a short tournament. So how did the tag teams that they chose get chosen? How did you qualify? Where was the committee that decided who to include and who not to include?
I'm convinced they just literally picked straws or some shit.
All right, Brodito is going to get they actually get the Young Bucks.
Okay, I don't really care.
So, but I mean, there is the science of these brackets.
Mm-hmm. If you want to call it that. Science.
But as you're putting them together, so why include the GOA? They're not getting anything out of this.
I don't know. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, If anybody cared, they would ask, well, why didn't you include GOA? But nobody cares, so no one would ask. But if you put them in, then you just got to lose unless you're having them plan on winning the whole thing. But if they go on and win the whole thing, they already lost to the Hurt Syndicate. They did that already.
Right.
You've already wasted the Gates of Agony on a Hurt Syndicate title shot match. So to have them win it, you would just be doing repeat business at best. And if you wanted to make it to where, oh, now these guys can beat the Hurt Syndicate, well, what's different now? Like Toa Leone is 15 pounds lighter, so they're going to get it done. He's 15 pounds lighter in boots. You know, no more bare feet, so now he can beat him. I don't think
Well, that makes up for the weight loss. The boots.
Right, yeah. The boots are a couple pounds, so, you know. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't. There's no answers to these questions, Rick. I'm sorry. It's just everything's just kind of like, That.
And the less questions you ask, Rick, the better it is. Believe me.
Yeah, I want to do more, but like, I can't make sense out of what a lot of these companies are doing, not just AEW. Lexi is with Don and Lance Archer. Shane Taylor comes in. He's like, hey, what about my money? And Don is like, hey, if you deal with Skyflight for me, I'll get you your money, or some shit, whatever. That's a paraphrase. We got to move on. Recap of the drama from last night with MJF and Briscoe. Okay. Lexi's with Paragon. Kyle O'Reilly is trying to sell.
What the hell, man?
He's trying to sell Roderick Strong on the conglomeration. Like, look, we're not going to have the Paragon is no more. We got to think about joining the conglomeration. And he's telling him how good it is and how everybody's cool. And you got Willow there. Man. Yeah. Willow's there. Hologram's there. Ishii's there. They're all like, you know,
just standing
hey,
there.
Yeah, we're here. Like, don't you, what's the matter with us, Roderick Strong? Don't you like us? Why don't you want to join? So, well, he'll just take some more convincing.
What am I missing with Kyle O'Reilly, man? What's he doing? Talking to himself now? Is that what the deal is?
He's trying to be entertaining, Jimmy. He's doing his best.
Could have missed me. I mean, okay. Yeah. That's very entertaining.
I told you years ago, I said Kyle O'Reilly is secretly the most entertaining member of the Undisputed Era. And look where we're at. Cole's finished.
You now,
Fish is gone. Roderick Strong's still there, just yelling people's first names. And Kyle O'Reilly is the one with the personality and still has a job. So here he is. He's outlasted them all. And he's trying to, they're giving him this and he's doing his best. That's what being a pro wrestler is all about. Can't hate him. Where are we at here? The camera is following Jon Moxley hunting Darby Allin, and then they see him get abducted by Darby, and then they conveniently cut the camera off at this point because we have a match coming up. If I'm filming and I see somebody get kidnapped in front of me, I think we're going to stay with that. But
I mean,
we got, because we now have these production meetings, we've got this show very tightly timed, and we can't be spending time on impromptu kidnappings right now. We've got to just move on to our next match, which is Chris Statlander. If anything's good to get you off a kidnapping of Jon Moxley, it's Chris Statlander. That'll make you forget all about it. And she's going to get wait a minute. She's got a match with Lena Cross from Australia. Jimmy, you hate this woman then, right? Am I to believe you hate her?
I never heard of this woman in my life, and I'm generally in
Wait
tune
a minute.
with,
I thought you knew everybody in Australia.
I kid you not. I'm in tune usually with the Australian independent scene, but get this. After I watch that, I jump on social media, and who comes up? It's her. Because I'm thinking she didn't wrestle for one of the major indie promotions here, and she didn't. She's from Perth, and she was wrestling for a indie promotion that I've never heard of called Newcastle Pro Wrestling, which is basically country New South Wales outside of Sydney. No one cares about this promotion. It doesn't do anything.
Well, I'm sure someone cares about it.
I'm sure someone does, but no shit. You don't hear about it at all. So I don't know where Tony saw her, but you know what? She seemed decent. I mean, she looked all right for like a second. She got a couple of her moves in, and then she got destroyed. Yeah, I mean, she's tall.
Obviously, she has tremendous value if you're going to cut away from an abduction. The level of importance to get to her match is there. Tremendous talent, obviously. And that's why Tony and TK has that keen eye globally to go
I
find
mean-
those talents in your backyard that you missed out on, Jimmy.
I mean, he's going into the country towns for talent at this point. I mean, that's where she comes from. No shit, like country town in Shit Creek, Australia. That's where they plucked it from, man. For real.
Well, good job. Good job
Yeah.
finding her. I mean, you backed the wrong horse though, because Statlander wrapped her up in a submission I've never seen in my life before in like 10 seconds, and I've watched Zack Sabre Jr. wrestle 500 times, and I've never seen anything like this. So, anyway, she beats her with that, and then she's going back up the ramp, and then Willow Nightingale's coming out because we don't have any time to waste. Don't ask about Jon Moxley either. We got Willow's match now. Willow's got to come out. This is her big match against Tekla that she went and politic to get. And Tekla comes out with the triangle. And they have a match, and I didn't really care or watch, but Rick, you said you like this, so I'll
like
throw it to you.
I am a Willow fan. I'm a Willow warrior, or what am I there? The what is her?
Willow's Willow. I have no
what is her
idea
group?
what her fan base
No,
is
she,
called.
what'd she say?
Conglomeration. She's in the conglomeration.
No, of hexagon of what?
Oh,
Hexagon
trapezoid of
or
grapezoid.
something? Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
okay.
I see.
I'm down with it. I'm in with it. Hey, whatever she's on, I'm going to support her here. I have a lot of fun with her. I think there's some money on her, so I'm down with the Willow.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan of hers. I don't mind her at all, to be fair. But you know,
Well, Tekla's down with the
shit.
Willow too. She throws her down on the mat and stomps her face and wins.
So we got a lot going on here, right? So we've got this triangle of terror. What the hell is this thing happening? They've right. They should employ that on the air when they're talking about them. They've got their secret deadly alliance here with Megan Bain and Penelope.
yeah,
Or-
Janela's sloppy seconds and current girlfriend. I mean, isn't
Gil-
that weird
God damn.
He'll-
that they would put them together?
Anyone like hooking up with Bain after that, she's still so gorgeous. I mean, it's so almost
It
you wouldn't be able
blows my
to
mind,
resist it, but it's like eating out of the fucking garbage. After someone that's been with Janela, it's just it's
And
like
deep
George
in the
Costanza.
garbage.
George
Deep in the
Costanza.
garbage.
Yeah,
not like the eclair gently on top with the unbitten side.
hovering like an angel above the rim. Of
Yeah.
course I knew she took a bite of it. I gave her a kiss.
Oh, yikes.
It's eating out of all right, but let me ask you guys. So we got all these women like that are we're getting armies. We're building our militias. Are we setting up for one of those stupid
Militia.
stadium matches for the women?
Probably. I feel like we've already seen it. like with different variations on these ones, but I don't know, man. It's like, so we didn't really talk about this part, but just to clarify for the record, after Tekla wins, the rest of the triangle comes in and they all start kicking the shit out of Willow. That's what has Megalope comes down, and then you're like, okay, what are they gonna do? And then they start kicking the shit. It's comedic almost, the timing of it, the way they just go in there and everybody's like, what's gonna happen now? And then they just start kicking her.
Everybody kicking the chubby kid.
Yeah. So then Queen Aminata has a chair and TJ has a pipe and a board,
God.
and they all come in and
Talk about fear.
yeah, they run everybody off. So
God.
What is that rule you guys have that we're allowed that one pass with a talent that when they get on the screen, we are allowed to just tune it out?
the disavow rule, yes.
I think I'm going to go ahead and cash my contract in on that. When anything with Tay, when she comes on the screen,
she's
I
bad,
am
dude.
checking out completely.
Okay.
She's really bad, man.
Well, thankfully, this was all it was. Just a quick run in with her with the pipe or whatever. I don't remember which one had the pipe and which one had the board at this point. But
Anna Jay's got that weird board that she can barely carry, let alone sway that she's been trying to hit.
and there's
with.
tape on it.
Yeah.
What was that board doing before she picked it up? Like, what was that going to be for? What were you going to do with that? But anyway, so yeah, that happens. Then we get Lexi with Billy Gunn, and then Anthony Bowens comes in and yells at him, and then Billy's like, "I'm not going to sit here and take this," and he leaves. So there's
As
that.
you should.
Yeah. Earlier they show Swerve and Nana warning the Bucks and Okada about, I don't know, whatever, getting their asses kicked, I guess. And then they go to, that was earlier in the day, but now in the day, Don and Okada are here, and Don cuts most of the promo, and Okada says, "We don't need to talk. Let's just fight, bitch." So
Let's just figure out.
I
I love it.
That reminds me, one moment. But yeah, so Rick, you were saying that they've clearly just spun Swerve into this whole Okada thing. If we take this as a la carte thing, how interested are you in seeing this contest?
A la carte, I got to be honest with you. There is not a whole lot of intrigue here for me because I mean, it just kind of comes out of nowhere. Obviously, this is
A la carte, damn it, Rick. Come on.
I don't know. Can I get some side of gravy with it? I don't know what can spice this up. Can add some extra flavor to it for me?
Oh well, I mean that's a good point, and it did. Really,
Oh, there we go.
That's nice. Very nice. You showed
Bitch.
this before, but I like it again.
Bitch.
Biatch.
Bitch, huh? What do you think?
Does it
Exclusive.
come with his new theme song, by the way?
Yes, he's got a string that you pull in the back, and I don't want to do it right now because I don't want to wear out the battery. But just trust me, my sources trust me, bro.
Bitch.
Fucking hell. That's good.
I
That's
still
nice.
long for the days of tourist Okada when he was going to
Yeah,
the
me
baseball
too.
games
The
and
balloons?
things like that. Yes.
When he used to post online with his captain's hat and all that. Are you talking about?
I remember him at the baseball games and all of that, having a good
He was
time.
going
He was
everywhere,
taking in
dude,
the
you're right.
American culture before he made those big Tony Khan dollars and
He
became
loves In-N-Out Burger. I don't know if you guys know that.
And he's a real accomplished chef apparently in Japan. He's actually a good cook for real though.
Okay, we're learning.
all right.
I'm learning.
Yeah.
That's actually the truth. I'm not lying. I'm not just saying that. It's actually
I didn't
true.
say you were. I just didn't know.
I won't accuse you of anything. Here's something I could accuse somebody for. Daniel Garcia's on commentary for this next match.
That sounds like a good booking decision.
It's
Better,
FTR versus the Bangs with Cardblade and Colton Board.
Oh, nice. I like that.
The Tree is watching on the monitor backstage, Learning Tree, Bill and Big Business Bad Apple Bounty Hunter Brian Bekeith. And so they tried the same finish that they won with last time with the crutch roll up or whatever, but this time they actually win with the just regular O'Connor roll up with the trunks pull.
Yeah, and again, it was good. I was happy that they won because I like the Bang Bang Gang actually. Vet.
No. The Bang Bang Gang did not win.
They
I
did
was
win?
going to say,
Oh yeah, of course. No, of course they did. Yeah, with the tights. You're right. I don't care about these guys, man.
now I'm
Screw
starting
them.
to question that whole good cook thing that you just told us about.
Yeah.
I don't
No.
know what's going
Come on.
on
He's a good cook. He's a
review.
good cook. He's a good cook. I was arguing with at this point with Dax, so I'm half paying attention to the match. But it doesn't matter. Screw Dax. I don't care. It's like I don't care about him. You can go and eat it. You know what?
Go eat a
Big fat one.
not accomplished meal that Okada didn't cook, you fat fuck. Yeah. Take that.
Yes.
He loves
But anyway, yeah,
You
they
got
won.
so much heat with Jimmy T that we are erasing your Eliminator tournament win, and this one goes to the Bang Bang Gang.
No, I actually do remember the roll up with the tights pulled. But again, you know when you glaze, you just watch it
Mhm.
and nothing's really happening. It was one of those moments.
Power of the social media.
I was looking at my phone, obviously
Do
for
you
other
guys
reasons,
like
and I was
this
setting up
pairing
for
of the Bang
show.
Bang Gang?
Sorry,
No.
Did you guys like it? Okay.
Doesn't matter. No, doesn't matter.
what you don't like the Bang Bang Gang?
I don't like
this-
this. I don't particularly care about whether Juice Robinson and Austin are a team.
You know what?
They don't have a choice. They don't have anybody else in the group, so they're the only two that can be a team.
Well,
Well,
it's
they
like
were kind of
it's
similar
like the defunct
personalities.
version, though, because you're used to having just the two Gun Brothers, and then you have Switchblade and Juice, and now we've
Yeah.
got the combined kind of thing of it.
Yeah, if they had
Interesting.
if they had at any point ever in time given you the sort of like Freebird rotation feeling where any two of these guys are a threat together at any time, then that's one thing, but they've never done that. Like you said, it's always been this team and this team,
Right.
and it's just a faction, which, is that really a faction? I've
Can I
always
ask you-
liked the idea of, anybody can be, an effective team, and you've got a group of multiple people. That's what makes the conglomeration so great. And that's why Roderick Strong should really, really consider just setting the Paragon aside forever and just getting conglomerated.
One of us. One of us.
He can have his dream. He can have his dream of a mixed trio. You could have Roderick Strong, Tomohiro Ishii, and Willow Nightingale. Like, that's the ultimate team. He's not even considering that. He's just very selfish right now, and I don't understand why he's being like this.
Talk about wrestle dream.
Yes. What are we going to do? Working our way up to that, and we're not even. All right. Anyway, so
whoa, slow down for a second. I wanted to ask you quickly, what's happening with Jay White? Shouldn't he be like injured free at this point? Shouldn't he be ready to come back?
I believe I addressed this the previous week. No, it was on the Impact Attack. I had to give this report because I found out this report. Okay. Apparently, when his hand injury was healing, he somehow, they didn't say how, but apparently he somehow has a shoulder injury now.
What?
So that's further sidelined him.
How does he go from wrist to shoulder? Okay.
Maybe he was trying to work out, and I don't know if it's the same shoulder as his hand. I don't know what the deal is. That's just what, Fightful Select or whatever, whatever outlet is reporting, whatever. But you know how they are with their information. It's like they're at the mercy of whoever's talking to them. So if they don't give them anything, they can't say anything. It's like a shoulder injury. What? I don't know. Like, that's just what it says. That's the best I got for you. Supposedly Jay White has a hurt shoulder also. That's all I know. So that's why it's taking him too long. If it was just your hand, like, you don't need to miss TV over a hand.
That's true. He could have been doing promos and he could have wrestled, to be honest.
Yeah, but you don't have to. Like, in this day and age, you don't have to wrestle, especially with whatever. Anyways, we got to go. Taz breaks down the O-face. Okay. Then Athena explains why she didn't cash in right then and there on Dynamite. It's because Chicago and this building is too small of a place for somebody of her stature. She thinks that London is a better place, so she's going to wait until they're there at Forbidden Door at the O2, and then she will enact her title match thing or whatever, even though, as I pointed out, and I don't know if they're going with it or not, but I mean, shit, she already pinned Toni Storm. She shouldn't need to cash it in. She should just get it, right?
True. But unfortunately, apparently it doesn't work that way.
Well, we'll see.
If you want that big match feel, you talk about creating that career moment. You get the O face at the O2. What a selling point that they're going to have there.
Oh my.
Oh my, yes. OMG, the O face at the O2. Forbidden Door.
The marketing's already there.
Mike in the chat actually brings up a good point. If the building is too small, why would you point that out?
It's the same reason that a heel says your sports team sucks or anything about your town sucks.
No, I know, but I think he's talking about it in the broader aspect, like AEW. Like, why would AEW do that to themselves per se? You know what I mean?
I don't know if they did it to themselves. I don't even know if she said it. I might have just said that. She was talking about Chicago for sure. I don't know if she said anything about the building. That's just me.
The hammering home point is that the Chicago audience isn't worthy to see a moment like that.
Right. And if she was in her hometown, she would have said it was too small of a place. It doesn't matter where they are. That's just what the heel says in the promo. They're like, I'm not doing it for you people. I'll do it for these people. Cause man, whatever. It's not that big a deal. But yeah, like I said, I don't even remember if she said anything about the building itself. So don't attribute that to her. That was just what I said. Platinum Open Challenge. Okay, answered by Roosh. I could have sworn Roosh has answered this challenge before. I guess he just must be really bored. He comes out. He plays with his food for the whole 5 minutes and doesn't get the win.
Does he not understand English?
He's the first person. He doesn't need to understand English, but yes, he does.
Time is universal.
Yeah, but he didn't care about the time. He's sitting there, ready to do his finishing move, and the time, like, everyone's like 3, 2, 1, no urgency whatsoever at all. And then,
well, apparently he's not playing by the rules at all. He doesn't care. Okay. He's ungovernable, Jimmy. You know that.
That's right. Los Ingobernables.
You can't control raging bull
at this point.
Mm-hmm. So they So yeah, they continue to just kick the shit out of him because time is meaningless here. So they just keep kicking the shit out of him. And then security comes in, and they're the only ones that's going to come in because Max has no friends. But so anyway, yeah, they come in, they get tossed by LFI, and then Jet Speed and AR Fox come down and they fight LFI to the back. And now everybody's gone, and Max is just laying there beaten in the ring, and he weakly raises his hand like, "Yes, I won." Because
that's the first time, I believe. I don't even.
That's right.
The other time, where
Bruce survived. He survived 5 with the
bizarre.
best wrestler alive.
It's starting to get over, sort of. Where are we going now with Max, though, guys? Do they even
Next,
know?
he
They
might
probably
pin a
don't.
guy. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? That's all that matters.
Yeah.
It's literally about a who knows.
All right. So, yeah. Any other further stuff, Rick? Anything about the Max 5-minute Roosh, whatever?
I just kind of I like that when security can't get the job done, they find 2 of the guys that are probably even bigger pussies than the security team and Jet Speed to come out to try to break up the melee. Are we getting a Max babyface turn? Even because we're seeing Bowens going to the heel side here.
Well, they already been sort of. Well, if you're entertaining, the crowd will like you. Ironically, they're already trying to go along with this stupid off-rhythm chant, right? And they have been for weeks. So, they're much more into whatever he's doing, and that's the problem. Everybody is just entertained because, again, as you're constantly reminded, Unreal now streaming on Netflix. This is all fake, so it doesn't matter. You just be entertained by anything that we do.
I think, which you have talked about weeks ago, that is why this is working when people are annoyed with it, and it's catching on because it's the only thing that's different on this show.
Yeah, what are Jet Speed doing to entertain you?
They're not at all. Well, getting beat up, I do enjoy that when they do get beat up.
Right. So they're being in the match. If Bailey's, kicking people, they cheer that. But then also if he's getting tossed around like a rag doll by Bobby Lashley, they cheer that.
They cheer that.
They just like anything that happens because people aren't as invested in the individuals. They're invested in the spots and the stunts or the action or whatever it is in the moment that's right in front of their face, the furniture, the shocking thing you might say on a promo. Like whatever that is, that's what it is.
Shocked this week to find out that Speedball is a heterosexual.
Oh my goodness!
I learned that this week. I was shocked.
Shocked.
Heterosexual.
He's here to shock the world because he is the shock master. Or like we were talking about with AR Fox, for example, right, Jimmy? We're saying like people are cheering AR Fox loudly because he keeps getting his ass beat, and they're ready to see him win one. Like you can get somebody over by beating the shit out of them repeatedly. If it's done a certain way, that can get over, but they don't know.
They don't know that.
Yeah, they don't know that. It's just happening, and we'll see if they take advantage of it. Shane Taylor Promotions featuring Anthony Ogogo. This guy still exists. Deport him, please. Deport this man. Why is he still in America? What is he doing? He's not wrestling. He's not boxing. He's just standing. He's accompanying. And since when does he? I must have missed the Ring of Honor episode, which was all of them. I must have missed the episode where they signed him to Shane Taylor Promotions. But here he is with them now. So that happened. And then we got Skyflight
today, man.
And Scorpio beats one of the infantry with his TKO thing. Great.
And he's back, I guess, now officially, right? For good. I assume. Yeah, who cares? I didn't care about this match. Didn't care about either one of these guys, Jet Speeds, Speeds balls, and whatever balls you want to play with. But I just don't care.
Rick, do you care?
I think you did a great job breaking down the segment.
All right. Well, this is the most exciting part. So Darby is about to kill Jon Moxley. Fair's fair. I mean, it's happened multiple times on the other end, so it's only right somebody try to kill him now. He's going to throw him.
Was he trying to kill him or trying to just get him a fast pass out of Chicago?
I guess that depends on where the train is in relation to when he lands. He could land on top of the moving train and get out of Chicago, or he could land in front of the moving train and get run over.
Next week, they're in Cleveland. I have taken that Amtrak ride plenty of times. It is a beautiful, beautiful scenery, relaxing ride there that takes you right out of Chicago into Cleveland. Darby might have just been doing him a favor, just helping him get to the next town, making towns. That's what it's about.
Well, if that's the case, then that stupid, rotten security that's never good for anything except ruining a good time. They prevent Jon Moxley from going on his little mini vacation, and they save his life. And, there we go. Well, we almost had it.
I know.
I like how they knew to cut back to this, like right at the moment he was about to get pitched over the side too. That was good. I guess that, they were only so enthralled after cutting to Statlander and all that stuff. Like they had to, what is happening with Jon Moxley anyway? Let's cut back to that camera. It's like I imagine it's been following these guys the entire hour of the show that we've been like, it took him an hour to drag Jon Moxley all the way out here. Then you got the camera and in like the truck, how you could see all the camera feeds so that you know which camera to switch to, like which one to hit, which one to hit the red light on. Yeah. And it's like, oh, Darby's finally taking Jon Moxley to the train tracks. All right, go to that camera now. Took him long enough, Well, he must have been running out of bottles of ether or something.
A picture-in-picture that's just AEW security cam. So we can just see, that the security team was in full pursuit to be at this location in full force. Bad boys, what's you going to do to save him here?
You know what Darby's starting to remind me of? I don't know if you guys have heard of this paranormal creature called Mothman. Have you guys heard of Mothman? Look it up, Mothman.
Mothman or Muffman?
No.
You can't understand with your accent.
What was it? Wasn't Darby on the show where he said he got stung by bees having sex or whatever?
Yes,
what was that?
Yeah. No,
I am familiar with the legend of Mothman. Yes.
That's what I'm talking about, from Virginia.
West Virginia.
Well, yeah, exactly. West Virginia.
Yeah, everybody knows what the Mothman is, Jimmy.
I know. Well, I'm saying
and they will be next week Collision in West Virginia.
Oh shit, you're right.
Jimmy, you might have opened up the case here, brother.
You're spot on. How's that for a coincidence? But I'm just saying, he's starting to remind me of Mothman. He's like this mysterious sort of creature at this point, Vet.
I see. Well, you don't want to. Sting already did the crow thing, so he's got to he's got to do something a little different. So, see, right.
I wonder if you put light on Darby, does he go, Because
they did. These days. Remember, they did shine the spotlight on him. He just stood there, so I guess he's fine.
He's
when there are Mothman sightings, bad things happen.
Exactly.
Sure.
Like AEW booking.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we're not in West Virginia yet. We're still in Chicago for a Chicago street fight. It's,
of course,
Dustin Rhodes putting that TNT title on the line, that feel-good moment at All In. He's putting that title on the line against Kyle Fletcher, the man who feels like he was always deserved that title shot. And I hate Kyle Fletcher so much. Can't stand him. Don't like him. Never going to like him. It's over for Kyle Fletcher and me, but I will give him credit and thank you for this one thing. Thank you for not wasting a moment pulling out a kendo stick so I could disavow this match completely. I didn't watch it. I don't care. I don't know what happened. Jimmy, take it away.
It was a bloodbath, dude. Basically, this match was a bloodbath. At this point, I was getting ready to do the show with you guys, but just, glazing at it in the background. All I saw was blood, and more blood. And Kyle Fletcher crying as he becomes the new TNT champion of TNT, I guess, in AEW.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, so, he was happy because he was crying when they win championships. And this is no different.
Josh says there was a screwdriver used in the match. Is that accurate?
Yes.
I didn't see a screwdriver, but
I didn't watch it.
Saw one. I'm sure there was.
Vodka in the OJ will get you through these shows. Screwdrivers for everyone. Absolutely. Hey, you did have, it did create some buzz there. Internet talking about it. These guys go out there, beat the living shit out of each other. Absolute blood bath to close out this 6-show run there in Chicago. So, those fans seem to like these sorts of things. And I think that was probably a good exclamation point to the run they had at this arena here.
Can I ask you guys one thing? I mean, technically I shouldn't. I should disavow this, but I kind of got to know because it's bigger than just this match.
I've got a feeling.
So Kyle Fletcher
right.
had like 2 matches with Adam Cole, and Adam Cole might be done forever. Did Dustin get hurt in this? Did anything happen to Dustin? But poor Dustin take any ill-advised bumps? Is Kyle Fletcher just as rotten as ever? Did he take care of Dustin or what? What anything we should be concerned about as he has to take time off for whatever? Probably already decided before this match, but then again, maybe not because I didn't watch it, so I can't tell you. What do you guys think in your opinion? I'll ask Rick first. Did you see anything that could have ended Dustin's career forever?
Vet, this was one of those put a gimmick on it so you can actually protect the guy kind of thing. Go out.
So they didn't really do that much. Just a lot of sloppy brawling. Safe.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that to Dustin. No way. I couldn't.
I don't know. Dustin's crazy. Sometimes he just wants to prove he can still go, and I've seen him take some bumps for guys because he just doesn't want to. You know, like he wants
to show out there. I can still got it. You know, you're not going to dismiss me. And you see that with a lot of the old guard, those veterans like that. They want to show that they go out there, especially in this kind of today's wrestling landscape where there's so much emphasis on the BS wrestling. This was one of those, let's put a hardcore gimmick on it. We can hide a lot of stuff. Let's get through it, get the title switch, which it was. Do you think this was like a roundabout way they wanted to get to Fletcher, but we got the opportunity to tell that feel good moment with Dustin there in Texas. And it's nice for the lineage of the title that we say one of, these beloved guys in the business with a tremendous history, just the tie into the name itself had that moment with us.
Of course it is. And that's the flip side of what we talked about earlier in terms of, we were talking about, did we really need to do a concerto on Christian on TV for this spot? And we're saying like, no, you didn't. It didn't really matter. Did we, did Dustin winning the title all in hurt any plans? No, you could just do that and go around back to it later. It's fine. It's all going to be forgotten in the end anyway, because there's too much content and things move too fast in this world. So this is like the more positive side of it. Like,
I think in this match itself is a symbolic, if this is, if these rumors true that Dustin's got to step away for some kind of surgery, if there are things, obviously he's up against the clock. Father Time is there, but this is that send off, that symbolic. I've given everything to this business. I have given my heart, my soul, and my blood. Spilled this to entertain all of you. This is maybe that swan song for him.
Well, it's getting close, that's for sure.
So I just saw this that TN Couponer sent us on X, but it's a post from Dustin Rhodes saying, "Sorry guys, feel like I failed my fans. Gonna be out for a while as Doc said I need a very invasive major surgery. MRIs and CAT scans this week due to Kyle Fletcher."
Wow.
So I like that he's like working that in,
lean into it.
You're doing the opposite of Unreal. You are working it. I like it. Thank you, Dustin.
And hopefully the company is smart enough now that when Fletcher gets these types of wins like this, that you have people disappearing a little bit and play into that they're being checked out medically or something like that.
Yeah, this is what we want.
Right, but
this is what we want. We know what it is, but this is what we want. We want you to pretend. We want you to play along. We don't want Thanos to stare down Iron Man and say, "Listen, Robert, I know who you really are." Like, we don't want that. We want him to be Tony Stark. So when these wrestlers ruin everything and kill the magic for us.
Before I put this glove on, here, read this about a buddy cop film that we're going to do next summer.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So anyways, that's all the Wreckage pretty much sifted. We have a new TNT champion, allegedly. I wouldn't know, but I'm trusting you guys that you didn't lie to me and the people. And I just read Dustin's apology, so I assume he lost for some reason. So yeah, there we go, guys. There it was. What do you think?
This week in AEW, as we say goodbye to Chicago, it was a nice little run that they had there. I like that venue. I hope to see it in the future.
8 clashes at the castle.
I love it. I love it, man. I thought, Ben brought up a good point. I mean, great for them to go to Warner Discovery and be like, look at it. They saved a lot of money not moving around that show for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm sure they would have, and I'm sure it wouldn't have been expensive to even hire out the joint compared to your
and
big
in
arenas.
2 weeks, right here in Cincinnati, we get an all elite takeover. We get back to back Wednesday and Thursday, Dynamite and Collision, baby.
Are you gonna go, Rick?
Yeah, you're gonna be the live. You're gonna come back with a live report, right?
That's what I was saying to him
Right.
yesterday.
I don't know if you guys are following the national news there for Cincinnati. The excitement might be outside of the arena. We've got some serious issues with some racial tension downtown. Not really the safest place to be.
Yeah, I saw that.
Are you going or not?
Hey, that's what I need to see. I want whoever could be, not Okada, maybe Moxley and Swerve. We need a Cincinnati street fight out in the streets to freak people out. A white guy and a black guy is absolutely just mauling each other alive.
All right.
God. I mean,
We'll see if people start jumping in. Actual citizens just start jumping into that damn thing.
Well, like Labrat says, it sounds great for AEW though. I mean, but are you seriously considering going though, Rick?
Yes. I had offered some tickets, so I cannot go to Collision because I have to work at the track, but I might make an appearance there for Wednesday.
Well, if you do, I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm sure we're gonna have you back right here on the Wreckage. But in saying that, before we do go, tell them what you're doing and what you're up to, Rick, because there's more to come, especially from us.
I'm up to the usual. You can catch me right back here, hopefully around 9:30 again p.m. Eastern, as we're going to wrap up night 2 of SummerSlam, Jamie T and me, and then back tomorrow with Mr. Ben Hameen at high noon for that Monday locker room.
Beautiful. Vet, tell them what you're doing and what you're up to, man.
Well, you know all the usual places you can find me. At Opinion Haver on all your favorite social media platforms. You can check me out every Monday night, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern for the Impact Attack with Brandon, where we talk about TNA. You can check me out every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern with Big Ray Hernandez for the Next Level Wrestling View. We talk about NXT. You can catch me every Sunday on the Wreckage, as you know, because you're seeing it right now. But we've also got every Friday. We've got Wrestling with Rip Rogers. Every Friday we got the Stevie Richards show, and we've also got Limpin' Ain't Easy with Timmy Baltimore premiering every Wednesday. So please check out all those shows. And as for today, no Twitch stream for me today, but maybe I'll be on something to do with SummerSlam later on a watch along, or we'll see how it goes. So,
dude, if you're available, come join us for the review show. Even
we'll see.
Oh, that's good. Hopefully he does join us. No promises, but if he does, I'm sure it'll be a great stacked show. But yeah, you guys already said where you can find yourselves, and that's essentially where you can find me at this point.
Go find yourself.
Well, yeah, go find yourself, Rick. Instead of saying the F word, the other F word instead. But anyway, I'll be around obviously for the SummerSlam review show with Rick. I'm not sure if I'll jump on the watch along with Brandon, but he wants me to jump on, but we'll see. I don't want to talk about it twice over. But in saying that, till later on, hopefully, what time did it finish yesterday? It was before 10, wasn't it, Rick?
It went off the air. We started around 9:30.
Yeah, so hopefully it's a 9:30 start time again from us, just like yesterday. So in saying that, till next time, I am Jimmy T. He's the best in the world. And my co-host, Jamie the Vet Williams. And, of course, my other co-host, it is R to the B to the V. And till next time, peace out and much love to everybody that joins us in the chat. And please share, subscribe, and keep liking, man. We really appreciate it. And, see you later.